Hey, well said, my friend. Well said. Hello. Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast here on July 11th, 2026. Good to see you. It's a Saturday. Always nice to have a stream on a Saturday. Wow, it's so bright, though. Hopefully that fixes it. God, it's so... Wait. Something's messed up. There we go. Wait, it's like flickering now. There's a damn ghost! What the hell? There's a damn ghost in the machine, dude. Hopefully it's gone now. Good to see you. How you doing? Saturday. A little W to start. Who's got a good news? I'll be honest with you. I am cheering for Norway. Get over it. Get over it, UK fans. I'm cheering for Norway. Because I think it would be kind of fucking crazy if they made it to the final. If they won, I mean, I think it'd be crazy. Now, do I want the Nordics to win? No. But here's the T. Here's the T. You're thinking, here's your thought process. Atrioc doesn't want Aiden to get a big Nordic win. Correct. Correct. But what you don't understand is Sweden will be pissed off if Norway wins. So, in fact, this is a net negative to Aiden. So, it's a W. You don't understand the little petty rivalries there. They're already pissed about the row. And so, I think Norway win would be great. I mean, I don't really care. Norway and England both could do it. Harry Kane, it's coming home, isn't it? Like, I would love to say that. So I don't know. I'll take a fucking. I'll do whatever. I'll bandwagon, bro. Whoever. I'll bandwagon. Who's what's the bracket? Who do they play if they win? Bracket World Cup, folks. Let's check that World Cup bracket. Bada bing, bada boom. They would play the winner of Argentina, Switzerland. Based on the way the refs are going, probably Argentina. Probably Argentina. Also probably based on skill. Let's be real. Okay, man. Who knows what could happen, bro? Who knows? My God. This is anyone's World Cup, unless it literally is just France. Like everyone's saying. Maybe it's just France all the way to the fucking finale. Dude, I gotta be honest with you though. England winning and then winning this and then having a France-England 100 Years War finals. That's like the ultimate European showdown, France-England. That's the fucking day one, pack one, pick one, bro. That would be crazy. It's a World Cup, not a Euro Cup. Bro, you are way too late if that's your problem. The World Cup is like 80% European by the quarterfinals for the last 8 World Cups. They've got it. The soccer has already all moved to Europe. I mean, Argentina's like with the last hope, I guess. They're the Koreans of League. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, they don't always win, but they mostly win. Brazil fell off. That's right. Brazil did fell off. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I saw some stats. It's like literally all the World Cup talent is like Euro centralized over the past few decades. Or maybe it always was, but it's gotten even worse. Who said that? It was Branko Milanovic. I read his book. And then he tweeted. Yeah, it's this, dude. Like the red bar is European. So it's just a dominant. Yeah, this is quarterfinalists. So round of 8. Like the average is 6. It's mostly European, bro. Are you rooting for the Latinos of Europe, Norwegians? There is no world in which the Norwegians are the Latinos of Europe. You have made that up. That is not a thing people say. That you've completely created that whole cloth. No, that's not. That is not true. Yeah, they love tacos. Everybody loves tacos if they give it a try. If you have an actual good taco, you will love tacos. It's impossible. There's so many variations of tacos, and you'll find one that's great for you. They put pineapple in your tacos? Bro, we put pineapple in our tacos. And by we, I mean my Latin people. Tijuana tacos, put some pineapple in there. A little slice of pineapple on Al Pastor, bro. If you don't do that, you're dumb. Pineapple on taco sounds like it goes hard. It does. It goes insanely hard. If you're not trying Al Pastor fucking tacos with pineapple and corn tortillas, you're losing it, bro. You're missing out on a goat taco. I will admit, in Norway, we eat a fuck ton of fredagsmat. What are you talking about? Don't call that's not a taco. Fredagsmat. No, you're just saying gibberish. All right, it's a taco. Norwegian ass word. Hey, Big A just got here. Any chance you're rooting for the Latinos of Europe, aka the Norwegians? That's not, what a natural way to enter this conversation. What an absolutely natural, seamless way you sort of floated in here. Really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, a little personal news. I went to a not a physical trainer. I went to a trainer, a gym trainer, for the first time in a while, long time, today. So I'm fucking a little exhausted, to be real. And what I found out is that I am chunk. Not necessarily weight-wise, but I've lost it, bro. I've lost it. I got gassed on everything. So easy, bro. I'm skinny fat. But what he did say is, I was like, bro, can I level with you? He also, oh my God, my trainer. I don't know if he's gonna be my trainer. It's one session. But he loves Call of Duty streamers. He found out. Are you still living? No, I'm lighter than Ludwig, bro. My weight is down. I'm like only a few pounds from being where I wanted to be end of the year. I'm gonna hit that, but I realized like hitting that just because I eat less is not making me stronger. I'm actually probably getting weaker. Yeah, Lud's like 190. Lud is way fatter than me now. Which is always right with the world. But I gotta work out more. You want to be stronger? Yeah, kinda. I mean, I want to be. Here's what I told the guy. I'm just telling you what I told the guy. I was like, bro, listen, I sit a lot because my job is on the computer. He's like, oh, what's your job? Like, work from home? And I was like, bro, I'm a streamer. And then he like actually his eyes lit up, bro. And then he started talking about it. And then but I found out that all the streamers he likes are like Call of Duty streamers. Like he's a nade shot. He's nade shot crazy. So it's like not. So I have to work on core strength and like glutes, I guess, whatever, just to like stabilize your lower back and everything. But you know, we did some tests, and he's like, you got really good mobility. So he's like, I was worried you wouldn't, but you do have good mobility. So we can work with this. We can make it work. You just got to like lift heavier weights. So we'll get there, bro. I'm not like, I mean, thank God I've been playing basketball. Otherwise, I would have not moved in a physical fashion for a while now. But I've been playing basketball, so. Lift Ludwig, I think that'd be enough, bro. You're trying to destroy my back. Lift Ludwig, bro. I'm trying to lift a golem. I mean, these Pokemon references now. I'm a Pokemon guy. I'm a Pokemon guy now. That's right. I've played a Nuzlocke. I'm a bit of a Pokemon guy. Kind of know things about types. I know things about switching. I know about held items. I know about features. Dude, this has been so fun to watch. Bro, it has been so fun to play. I sent a message to Eric Pointcrow because Pointcrow was asking me to enter this, and I was like a little slow to say yes because I genuinely thought I would not enjoy it. I love Pointcrow, but I was like, I bet I'm not going to have fun with this. And then it turns out it's fun as shit. It's awesome. So I messaged him and I said, yo, this event has been so much fun. Thank you for the invite and the sick coaching pairing. Jackie is chill AF. AF means as fuck. I talk cool like that with, so you're a Nintendo shill now? I'm just saying Nintendo, Big Daddy N, knows what's best for us. And if they want to charge $98 for the next game in the Pokemon franchise, we should pay it. Okay? That's what I say. I think when they raise prices on things, we should say thank you because that means we get a greater chance to help Nintendo. That's what I think. And I think we should all find any copy of Power World we can get our hands on and break it and destroy their servers and do what we can to get rid of that cancer on society. That's just what I think, though. Me personally. If they release a game with bugs, it was for our own good. Oh, I got some of my teeth. Oh. Pokemon games should be subscription based? Yes, dude. But now you're cooking. I think Pokemon games should make you pay not only like a subscription fee, but like there should be storage fees in the box in the game. So if you want to carry more than 6 Pokemon, you have to pay a fee. That would be fucking sick. That way it's like you have this little, it's like this challenge as a gamer, like risk reward. That'd be fun. And then also the Pokeball should cost money. That is fucking cool. Ludwig got married? No, Ludwig got engaged. You need to know how that works. You're one day gonna need to know the difference. But you got engaged, which is a big deal, and I'm very happy for them. It's very cool. But no, the wedding is later. The trainers steal your real. Oh, dude. Okay, what if your account is no longer Poké Dollars, but it's real dollars. And when you lose a battle, you literally have to pay the trainer. And then they can just keep adding hard fights, and then it just trades your account. Wait, that would be fucking sick. Do you know what's funny? I'm obviously joking. Not really. I love this idea. But Nintendo could have done this and people would have been happy about it if it was a Pokemon MMO. Like, if they made a really good Pokemon MMO, they could add all this monetization and people would be like, I love you, Nintendo. It's fucking great. Like a free-to-play entry, but with a... They could have printed cash forever and ever and ever and always. Can you one-click cancel the trainer? Oh, yeah, you're talking about Lina Khan. And, I mean, listen, he's going beast mode, I fear. It just has to be said, bro. Was I a big fan of the ring control? No. But everything else, bro, just win after win after win. This is awesome.
Membership shouldn't be this hard.
I know. And that's why we're announcing a new rule that bans subscription traps. So it's not like this anymore. This click to cancel rule requires businesses to make it as easy as it is to cancel.
This is GOAT mode with Lina Khan.
One of the strongest consumer protection efforts in the country, because New Yorkers deserve to know the real price of what they're buying.
I heard Zohran Mamdani didn't know who Lina Khan was until he saw her on Lemonade Stand. We kind of put her on the map. That's what I heard.
And to stop paying for the services they don't want.
Oh wait, I figured it out.
Yeah, can you show me how to do this? Please, Jared Khan! Help me! Oh, there we go.
I mean, that's not as funny as when we made her play Monopoly. And then she had to say, that's not really my thing. That was a better TikTok. I'm sorry, Zohran. I'm sorry. You got mogged by Lemonade Stand. I'm sorry. It's just a better joke. But that is just awesome news. Honestly, it's really cool. And he's a good communicator, and I got to respect it. I just do. I mean, you know what I'm saying. We're looking around this country. We're seeing politicians left and right. And I got to be honest, he's leading the pack. He knew she could be easily controlled after watching how you guys destroyed her on the podcast. Yeah. He saw how we pressed her. And he knew she could shut her down. I did not see Mamdani's Mario Kart stream. Come on, bro. That's not on my notification instant tune in. Still not cool of you guys? Yeah, we shut her down. We set her back, that's for damn sure. Why isn't he in the Nuzlocke? That's a great question that you should ask his campaign staff. What is he hiding? Is Zohran Mamdani secretly asset Pokemon? And he doesn't want the voters to know that? Because I tell you what, Cuomo could beat the Nuzlocke. I'm for sure Cuomo knows all the types. And I feel like Mamdani actually secretly doesn't and doesn't want people to know, and he's hiding from it. That's an honest truth that I feel. I'm 100% positive Cuomo couldn't name a single Pokemon. I think at this point, it's been 30 damn years. If you can't name Pikachu, I don't believe it. I think everyone can. I think you're faking it if you can't name one Pokemon. If you can't say Pikachu, EP Alex, thank you for the 11 months. If you talked about the researcher who built a working neural network in AoE 2 using goats as bits, I saw that. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was cool. Nothing else to say. But a lot of people sent me that. Who do you think will win today? I'm going to bet whenever you choose. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't. I know you know that I say this already, and I know you're kind of joking, but you really shouldn't do it. You shouldn't bet on any. I think I'm just getting so anti-gambling pilled. I'm becoming a fucking, I don't know. It's bad. It's so bad, dude. I saw recently that gambling by a lot has passed reading as a leisure activity for most Americans. It's like over 58% of Americans, gambling is one of their top 3 leisure activities or something. It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. We've gotten so degenerate. I don't make money reading. You don't make money gambling. You lose it. They take it from you. They take it from you. You only lose if you quit. You only lose if you start. Nah, you got a system? All right. Well, I guess I meant everybody other than you guys, obviously. You know what I'm saying this stuff. I don't mean my chat. My chat's elite. They're evolved. They're on another level. Things that apply to other people don't apply to you because you guys can get away with it. You're winners. You're built different. You have a success strategy. Hmm. Do you take bets on lemonade stand topics? No, we don't. We can't take them down. I don't think. I made fun of it on stream once, but we don't really do anything about it. It might be my top 3 because I play fantasy football league a year, and my other 2 hobbies are gaming and reading. Fantasy football league? You're calling that gambling? Listen, I'm saying when we talk about gambling, we're not talking about like a little small bet for a long time league with your friends. We're talking about like regularly using prediction markets or DraftKings or etc. to bet on sports. that's huge. It's so big. It's so popular. So many, especially men. We're just dumping money to these fucking companies. It's crazy. Yeah, it's the Looney Tunes, bro. Hey, big good news today. The housing affordability bill was passed into law without Trump's signature. It passed into law. It's awesome. The bill is top to bottom, like zoning reform, changing incentives. What else did it do? It had like it removes the requirement for a certain very expensive chassis when you're building non-mobile housing that could be a mobile home, but you don't have to. It's like a lot of things that makes it easier to add supply of housing. I don't know if Trump can stop it now. I don't know the specifics on that, but it's good. Chastity belts are no longer mandated. Yeah, yeah, you can now have sex if that's what you're waiting for. If the housing bill is what you're waiting for, you can do it. Hey, Bulio, thank you for the 57 months. Don't count as on their own zoning. Yeah, but it changes. I gotta look it up. I gotta look up the specifics. It changes like the federal aid they can get if they try to block zoning reform. So it like kind of puts a carrot in the stick. Let's see. It puts grants and incentives for local governments to reform zoning, permitting, and density rules to boost supply. Okay? It streamlines NEPA and environmental reviews for housing project, which is great because they can get caught up and take forever. It restricts large institutional investors from buying new single-family homes. So if you have over 350 homes, you can't buy single-family homes. It expands access to RAD conversions, home program reform, small dollar mortgage pilots, and CBD. I don't know what this one is. I'll have to look it up. Helps community banks invest more in housing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just modernizing programs, cutting red tape, easing affordability, updating zoning. I think it's good. I think it's a genuinely good bill. We'll see. It's not all the way done. It's not fucking everything solved, but it's good. He threatened to veto it, but he didn't. Because he was trying to block it so he can get the Voting Act passed to help him try to fucking cheat the midterms. But then nothing happened and he didn't veto this. So, so this is cool. I'm glad it passed, honestly. Can't veto, there's a supermajority. Yeah, but I think he can veto it and then it has to go back to another vote. It could be longer. I guess he just didn't want to lose. I know how much of a Mr. Beast fan you are. Will you be tuning in live to see Mr. Beast be a guest shark on Shark Tank? Crispy Waffles. I didn't know this is happening. Mr. Beast Shark Tank? Oh, he already did it. So it's coming out. Yeah, I'll watch that for sure. That'd be so funny.
Big news for Shark Tank fans. ABC has officially announced Shark Tank USA Season 18.
Who the fuck is Jeff
This
Hausenbold?
season is bringing one of the biggest names on the internet into the tank.
Is this AI?
That's right.
This is,
YouTube superstar Mr.
God, this is
Beast
horrible.
is joining Shark Tank as a guest shark, but he won't be investing alone. Mr. Beast will be joined by his longtime business partner and investment expert, Jeff Hausenbold, making this one of the most exciting guest appearances in the show's history.
Oh, yeah? The addition of Jeff Hausenbold makes it one of the most exciting guest appearances. Now that we got Hausenbold, bro, we love Jeff. Nobody's bolder than Hausenbold is what I always say. The Jeffster. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. I mean, who knows? The fucking guest episodes are often really cringe, but in a funny way. Like the Gwyneth Paltrow one was like skin crawling. So, all right, yeah, Jeff Hausenbold and Jimmy Donaldson. Okay, we'll watch that whenever that comes out. I don't know when it is. Said August, maybe? Or just the fall. We haven't watched a damn episode in a minute. The problem is we try to watch the new ones, you get copyright struck so often, it's hard to upload. Like the old ones were fine. Now that you have brand new nice legislation, please give me a house. Do you live in America? Are you trying to say that now that America has new legislation, we can give you a house, or you don't? Okay. Okay. Well, unfortunately, as you heard in the law, I can't buy any more homes because I already own 350. I've been capped. That was part of the law. I would buy you a house, but I'm capped out. I have 350, and it's just the way it goes, you know. My hands are tied. My hands are tied. Sorry, man. I know. God. Small scale investors like me with 350 houses, mom and pop investors. Florida houses are going into the negatives. Dude, there's some Texas cities that are seeing some big ass price drops. The most desperate sellers in America are in Sherman, Texas. I don't know if anybody knows Sherman. Sherman, Texas. People are dumping their homes. Well, they're trying to, but nobody's buying. Fuck Sherman. I don't even heard about it. Why do you think? 1 in 7 U.S. homes for sale is in Florida. Half of Florida listings have taken a price cut. Holy. Florida is bad. People are panic selling. Shit. Norway goal? Was it Holland? Nope. Shit. Big Norway win, bro. Well, we'll see. Still time to go. Still plenty of time to go. Are you not watching? I can't get it up, dude. It's like fucking. I can't pirate it. Can't get it up. It's crazy. How do you know Holland? Personally, we hang out. Honestly, we trade athletic tips. I've been working out today. And so he needed advice from me. Skull? Yeah. He saw, dude, he got the Viking robe from me playing Vikings. Do you understand? Holland's Birkin bag collection is what? Wait, why does Holland have a Birkin bag collection? Is this real? Wait, why does this guy have a collection of Birkin bags? He's got like $500,000 bags. Jesus Christ. He is really into fashion, it seems. Oh my God. And he plays Minecraft with his girlfriend. He's living the Zoomer dream. Wait. He's crushing it in the World Cup, goes home to his girlfriend, plays Minecraft. And then I guess he's one of us. That's such a funny thing to say. $100 million footballer. Yeah, he's one of us. Yo, Big A, would you be able to briefly take us why you weren't fans of I made a whole video on it, Snerd Burglar, and I explained why I agree with the aims and everything, just that the method doesn't work. Math just doesn't work. It's called This Won't Work or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. I'll find it for you. Boop, boop, boo. Have you seen? Nope. That's a damn Lily clip. I don't remember what it's called. This won't fix housing. There you go. He keeps spending on. The titles are tough. Here, Snerd Burglar. I'll allow your message. I'll link you at Snerd Burglar. There, you can go watch that. Goal reversed. Wait, why? What the hell? Wait. Why was the fucking goal reversed? Holland pushed a guy? Did he have a Birkin bag on him? Was he trying to steal it? Holy fuck. Starmer stepped in like Trump. Dude, Starmer don't have the poll like that. He doesn't have the FIFA Peace Prize. Okay? All right, so it's 1-1. Corrupt FIFA can't let a Latino win. I just don't think that's it. I just don't think that's the reason. Do you think Count Binface will actually win? No, he won't, almost assuredly. But he will turn Nigel Farage's little moment into a clown show and make him look quite foolish. So that's worth it on its own. FIFA's biased against the global South, Norway. The global southern part of Norway. Yep, notoriously discriminated against. You know what would help Binface win is if he got out there and played with the team. If Harry Kane kicks one over to Binface and he scores a fucking header goal with his giant bin, people would remember that. That would be legendary. That would be so pog. The coach of the Norway team kind of looks like Atrioc. Let's confirm what you're saying. Norway, World Cup coach. This guy looks like me. He's just bald, bro. He's just bald. That's it. So no, we don't look alike. Not at all. He doesn't have a beard. Mr. Clean Ass, you never told me you had a twin. This is my twin right here. Kind of looks like, doesn't even look like Luke Kennard. No, Luke Kennard looks like me. I'll admit that. Well, once you hit the gym. Bro, I've been hitting the gym as of today. Huge gym day. Huge gym day, huge progress, bro. Mm. Holland was born in England. I heard that. I heard that Holland could have picked. He could have played for either in the World Cup, and he chose Norway. But he had a lot of power. He had a lot of power to switch. His dad was a pro player. Oh, so he's a Nepo baby. He's a Nepo baby. Tom Holland is playing for the World Cup. That would be good for Tom Holland. That would be a good Spider-Man promo. Atrioc, as a transracial Latino, who would you play for? I think I would play for, honestly, Korea. Because I'm also part Korean, because I lived there briefly. And I think I would help them finally get a World Cup. North Korea. I'd finally help North Korea get a World Cup. And Faker. We'll probably get Faker on the team too. The thing about Faker is, like, everyone thinks that he is only good at League of Legends, but he's a natural athlete, bro. He could easily pick it up. Me and Faker up front. Yeah, we're the front court. Front field. Front. We're the strikers, okay? We get it done when it comes to goal scoring. Super TF in the goal. Now put Lud in the goal. He's too big. They can't get past him. Wait, Faker took a driving test? Wait. I want to see that. Faker driving test. I don't see it. Faker driver's license. I'm just getting fake driver's license. Not a real Faker fan? I don't see it at all. What happened? Wait, when did Faker get a stream him getting a license? That sounds hilarious. I've seen the ice sculptures. Can't be the goat of everything. I mean, I heard, tell me if I'm wrong here. Maybe some of you are Zoomer enough to know this. I heard most Zoomers aren't even getting licenses now. I wouldn't know about most, but a lot of Zoomers are not even getting licenses. Like when they turn 16, 17, they don't care. They don't do it. They like avoid it altogether. They use Uber and public transpo. Yeah. My dad has been on my ass about it. How old are you? I didn't think because wait, what? They let you skip the driver's license test during COVID? Is that real? That's crazy. Bro, that is crazy. Why would that? Dude, there's a pandemic, so don't worry about traffic laws. Damn, that is crazy. No, like, physical test. I'll be honest with you. I remember I did my driving test. This is crazy. When I first did my driving test, I drove straight through a red light. Like, straight through. Like, just powered through, bro. Bro, how? Okay, I'll tell you, honestly. It was like it was a real unfortunate spot, okay? Because look, I'm driving and it's like I'm driving up a hill, so the sight line is cut off, right? You can't see. It's hard. This is a hill, right? And then it's like this, okay? But I'm driving up and you can't see it. And then I get up the hill, and then right over the ridge, right over the crest, there's a red light. Okay? So I just go, I'm just speeding up the hill. I get here, I'm already too fast. Yo, blitz right through, dude. They knew? No, I know they knew. I told the guy. I was like, hey, bro, I didn't see that. And I passed. So maybe COVID didn't make it that much easier. Maybe it's always been easy. I passed, bro. I got everything else, but I did blitz that red light. Yeah. Yup. And what's crazy, you know what's fucking crazy too, is in Arizona, you get your driver's license, it lasts 50 years. 50 years, bro. I did the same thing. They said I did pretty okay. Everything. Yeah, the guy at the end was like, you did okay and everything else. Like, you did everything else. So be careful in that light. He passed me. In my town, if you tap a cone to auto fail, bro, I never would have tapped a cone. My fucking control is Fast and the Furious level. I just don't obey the lights. What was a light going to tell me what to do? We're going to let our whole life be dictated by glowing lights above streets? That's crazy. I talk to humans. Mine just started scrolling reels after he learned I've been driving with my international license for 4 years. Dude, so funny to have a driver's license instructor who's just fucking scrolling reels in the passengers. I love that shit. I love that shit. My preferred shorts? Yeah. Just tell them you're practicing for an F1 race? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. When I first took my road test here in BC, they failed me due to speeding. I was 2 above. Listen, here's the thing about driving in BC. If you don't follow the laws, you might bring down the property values, and nothing can allow that to happen. If there are dangerous streets, then families might not move in and keep the property values up. So they have to be extra fucking strict, bro. At all costs, they must stay high. Nobody ever breaks the law in DC. That's what Trump says, right? He's eliminated all crime in DC. It's gone completely. Love the one answer? Thanks, bro. It was fun. It was really fun, honestly. It was a fucking blast. Legitimately, I want to play it more, but my coach is out. And the last thing I want is to boot up, because I heard it gets harder, is to boot up on my own and then wipe, and then my coach has to come back to an empty nest, dude. I want to ride or die together. So we're going to play, we are going to play on Monday. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm working on a prez. I'm in my hiatus July, but as long as I keep up this workout schedule, I can still make clips. And we've had some heater ones in the past couple of days, so I'm down to keep doing. I'm working on a clip about OpenAI being sued by Apple, which I think is just an insanely hilarious story. But I'm not going to do it today. Today is probably Get Smarter Saturday. I'm sort of chilling and we're vibing while Norway, England is going on, because I want to see what happens. Is my honest truth on it. Got 20 minutes left. We fucking vibe. We talk about shit. Shoot the shit. And then I want to do Get Smarter Saturday. There's a fucking new Good Work that I want to watch, amongst other things. So that should be fun. Who are you rooting for? I think Norway, but I'm not like super diehard either way. I think it'll be fun. I think they're both interesting teams. And they both would be exciting. I do think it'd be really fun to see England versus France finals. I think that'd be fucking cool. Elmo answer? What do you mean by what does that mean? Why would Elmo say that? Like, explain your logic. Elmo loves all teams. Fine. Elmo's cool. Elmo's cool. Elmo's done. He's helped kids learn how to read for like 30 years. He's been a nice guy. Elmo is an op. Elmo is too woke. He's done more than our education system. Yes, dude. Sesame Street's out has cleared our education system. Elmo is an Israel plant. You think Elmo, after every taping, is on the phone with Netanyahu? I don't think so. I don't think you have evidence of that. I think you made, you know what I'm going to say? I think you made that up right now as a joke in chat. That's what I think. I think you've made that up and there is no evidence for what you're saying, but you are, yeah. I think you're lying on the internet. I know. You're the first to do it. That's why it's so crazy of an accusation. Stop spoiling the game, goddammit. Shut up, R-dubs. Anyone's allowed to spoil the game in here, by the way. New rules. What the fuck are you talking about? If you don't want to be spoiled, don't go in a live Twitch chat where the title is Norway versus England Sweat. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what? Snape kills Dumbledore, bro. Keep up. Keep up, bro. Not in the remake? Oh, true. Who knows what'll happen? Season 1 isn't even out yet. Oh my god. New gen Harry Potterers. Dude, what if the HBO series is a massive hit and then like Gen Alpha and Beta reclaim Harry Potter and take it over? And they start calling all the millennial Harry Potter fans like, they don't even understand Harry Potter. They like, you don't get it, dude. This is millennials' worst nightmare. We might have to run the country into the ground to prevent this. We might have to make sure that Gen Alpha is working in the mines. It's the road to get reading numbers up by giving Harry Potter. No, but it's a TV show. There's no way they're gonna read. Reading, I read this article, the Atlantic article about the death of literacy. Just came out. And the truth is, man, it's cooked. I've decided it's just cooked. I don't know. I'm trying my best. I know I've gotten some people to read Red Rising and like get a little bit into it, but it's like when you see the overwhelming stats, you just realize that people don't read for fun at all. It's just dropped off. And every year a kid gets older, they read less. It's completely lost. People are all getting news through video form, which I'm contributing to. And yeah, it's just cooked, bro. It's just cooked. I hate critical thinking. I want Harry Potter, but even reading Harry Potter would be fine. I have no discrimination. Any book, any fucking book, any book, an audio book, bro. I think it's fine. I think just fucking engage in a long form, thoughtful. Read romanticy smut, bro. Read the Bible. Read The Hungry Caterpillar. Do you still have the basketball coach? I haven't been in a minute, but I'm going to. I'm just trying to reschedule it with the trainer now. Maybe you can get LeBron to join your weekend basketball team. Oh, I'm sorry, you were joking. You think the solution to me getting better at basketball is to try and get LeBron James to join my weekend basketball team. You don't think there's any steps in between that I should try before jumping to getting the GOAT to join our weekend pickup game? I think that wouldn't help. I mean, I guess it would help. But honestly, I don't know how much it could help. There's such a gap in skill between me and him that I wouldn't even have fun playing with him because it's too easy. LeBron would join, but you haven't asked. Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'm sorry. Wait. We low-key need a TikTok of books. Swipe and you get a random paragraph and we implement AI slop. What the fuck are you talking about? That's just kind of Twitter, and there already is a book talk. So what are you talking about? Don't tell Altman we'll get a short form reading content. It's just paragraphs. The whole point of a book, the long form content, is the paragraphs have things before and after them that give context to the paragraph so you can understand it. So that you know the characters and what's going on. A random paragraph pulled out will mean nothing. Choose your own adventure novels could work. If it's like an app where it gives you a paragraph, you read it, then you make a choice and it gives you another paragraph. And it just generates that. We kind of did that. We did that as a stream one time with AI. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Short stories, 2-sentence horror. I think we're just lowering the standard. I don't think this is helping. I think this is just like lowering the standard so you can pretend that it's not getting worse. And then eventually you have to lower the standard again. That feels like that's not the solution. I will settle for literacy. Here's the thing, though. Here's what the article kind of broke down. People are literate, as in they can read a lot of words. People do read. People read kind of more than ever, but it's all skimmed, short form, short burst, disconnected content. They read TikTok captions and they read YouTube titles and they read chat messages and they read. It's not like they can't like read words. They can read words. The problem is that anytime it's a idea or thought that takes more than like 3 sentences to say, their brain goes to mush. They can't keep it all in and think about it. They can't have a long form thought that it's that's the problem. It's all become like surface skim. Yeah, maybe a degraded working memory. Yap, can someone summarize? Okay. Anyway, I'm not complaining about. We're not going to change it. All right? We're not going to fucking change it. I'm just going to keep reading. And I'll just fucking be isolated because of it. Stream on YouTube so you can get AI summaries. That's fucking awesome. That would be good. What if I just streamed offline, then uploaded it to an unlisted YouTube channel, copied the AI summary, and I published that? And then we can skip the stream altogether. And then everybody can just walk in and check the AI summary. That's like not a bad idea, huh? And then you could actually give the AI summary to an AI and tell it to give me to bottom line it for me. And it'll give you 3 words. Actually, what happens if you take like a long, one of the most beautiful poems ever written? Okay. What's like a famous, iconic, great poem? Okay. Here's one. The Wild Swans at Cool by William Butler Yeats. Okay. Let's copy this whole poem because it's obviously way too long to read. Boring. Yeats, I'm sorry. Yeats. Well, Yeats is because he would yeet things at people that disagree with him. That's what I used to call him. Back when he was a professor at Oxford, he used to yeet books at children who wouldn't call his poetry lame. Okay, so we're going to copy this whole thing into Claude, and I'm going to say, here, I'm going to type it. Yo, Claude, this poem is way too effing boring. Why it's so long? Okay? Can you bottom line it for me? Sum the whole thing up in 3 words. Everything ages but swans. That's 4 words, bro. That's 4 words. I asked for one fucking thing. I'm already bored. Maybe Grok can do it. Hey, Grok can solve my problem. Swans also age, by the way. AI. Okay. Yo, Grok, can you sum this boring poem up in 3 words? I have to sign up for Grok? Wait, I don't want to. God damn it! Log in with X. Authorize app. I'm authorizing. Oh God, this is probably the worst thing I ever did. Oh my God. Yo, Grok, sum up this boring poem in 3 words, please. Okay, it's thinking. All right. Now look what it said. It said swans outlast youth. Cinema. There, we saved time. Now we know that swans outlast youth. Done. Banger. And people think reading's important, bro. By the way, Yeats, weak-ass poem. Weak-ass poem. I haven't read it, but I've summarized it, and I found it to be lame. Okay? This is awesome. This is the modern day media. I fucking love this. Why is that so famous? Fuck if I know. Sounds lame as fuck, bro. Let me tell you something. Poetry, it's lame, as I've found out by summarizing it with AI. Can swans wash Mr. Beast? Great question. That sounds like a poem right there. Reggie, Tax. I'm going to tell you something. I'm never going to watch this video as long as I live because you've spammed it 400 times. I'm not going to watch it, bro. You have not stopped spamming it from the start of stream. You've pissed me off now. There's 0 chance I'm ever going to watch this video. We're going to do Get Smarter Saturdays later. You could have submitted it. Now I'm not watching it. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'll read the AI summary. I'll read the AI summary, bro. That way I'll save the time. But it might be too long. So let me, here, I'm going to go to Gemini. I'm going to summarize this video, and then I'm going to copy that into Grok and tell it to bottom line it for me. Because I'm busy. Okay. I got this long ass summary. Then I'll copy it over to Grok. Yo, Grok, can you bottom line this for me? Sum it up in one sentence. This video satirically proposes solving underpopulation by legalizing child labor. Cinema. 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 True, by the way. We should do that. But not satirically. The kids yearn for it. You've not only saved your time, but 2,000 people's time as well. The collective productivity you unlocked is crazy. Exactly. See how great this technology is? All the time we're saving is awesome. We're all collectively getting smarter at such a rapid rate. And we're all learning poetry at such a rapid rate. It's fucking incredible. This shit rules. Just convinced me to do a big long. Yep, invest, dude. Meta, Amazon, Nvidia. It's not just productive, it's revolutionary. We are true Renaissance men. Yup. Look, before, if you wanted to read poetry and think about population and all, it'd take you forever. We just crammed it all into a minute and a half, and we're more time to do everything else. We're like pretty much Da Vinci. And like Da Vinci could paint or whatever, I can have ChatGPT create me a photo. So I'm basically like Da Vinci in that. Can we pick a topic, say Renaissance, and watch 3-4 videos about it in a day? Maybe. I guess. Feels a little focused in like maybe a negative way. Like, there'd be a lot of repetition. If we watched 3 or 4 videos about one historical event, I feel like we would get a lot of repetition. So I'm not so sure that's a good idea. It's like reading books. No, I think just reading a book would be be better. So I don't think that's the best solution. I think like a larger topic like history is always a good idea for a day. I love history YouTube videos. They are so fun. It's like reading a book, but dude, I saw that because of people like you, you're doing this ironically, but also seriously. You're doing the thing where you say it ironically, but your actions show that you take it seriously. Because of this growing populace of people, the New York Times and like all these news organizations are like scrambling to pivot to video because they just know that their readership will get smaller every year no matter what. Like they have to make the news into video. I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the game, bro. They can hire me. Bloomberg's been doing it. Everyone's been doing it. They're all pivoting into every big news story has to be a video first. But I mean, I actually kind of like it because some of them are making pretty good videos. Like before, you could never get a good video out of these. They would have like a 88-minute, no, not 88, 85-minute video, and it would not get to the point, or it would be like an interview that they don't. Well, they're still kind of bad at it, actually. My God. I'm looking at like the New York Times YouTube channel. They're not. Oh, wait, what's this? The man behind the goal at the World Cup?
If you had to say what soccer sounds like, for a lot of fans, it's the voice of Andres Cantor. We met up with the announcer before the start of the World Cup to see how he trains his voice.
I want to get to the World Cup with the strongest voice possible.
When you start pulling up like this, it gets very trapped.
Before every World Cup, I ask Wendy to get me in shape. Go! When the final whistle blows, I'm pretty much as tired as the players are.
Bro, what are you talking about? Actually, as a streamer, I agree. As a streamer, I agree, bro. Amen. Amen. It's just as hard, if not more difficult, honestly, to be the one reacting to things.
Cantor's big break came at the 1994 World Cup.
Can
the
you
last
not hear
in
it?
the United
You
States.
guys can't hear this? No, people are responding to it. You guys can't hear this? Video's too loud? It's low.
It's hosted soccer's
About
biggest
that.
tournament.
By yelling the goal the way I yell goal, I disrupted the broadcasting world, if you will. It was definitely a before and after moment for my career.
Please welcome Univision's Andres Cantor. Andres!
Wow, he's been doing it forever, huh?
Goal call was everywhere.
No! This job has taken its toll! Obviously, my voice takes a toll. One of the things I tried to do is to pronounce the last names of the players as they should be in their native tongue. You know, instead of saying Richards, I will say Chris Richards. So it's tiene la pelota
Holy.
Kevin De Bruyne va contra Chris Richards. Let me ask you, how do
Holy.
singers do it when
Giga
they have
Chad, dude.
other engagements to do after a 2.5-hour concert?
Sleep. Because sleep for the voice is one of the most important things.
But sleep might be hard to come by with the games spread between the US, Canada, and Mexico.
It
Yeah.
will be game travel, game travel. In all, I believe I have 10 games in 14 days of competition in the first round.
At the last World Cup final in 2022, Cantor had perhaps his most viral moment
Wait, why he kinda? I'm sorry, you're trying to say he's a sex icon? Are you trying to say he's attractive?
to date, when Argentina beat France on a penalty kick.
Go!
It was a very emotional and very authentic broadcast because it was just myself on air and very happy for my home country. It was something that I had been waiting for as much as all the Argentinian soccer fans for 36 years. It is incredible how many times I've been stopped and recognized as the man that made people cry, which is really moving. I think the FIFA World Cup being played in the US with the amount of Latin American and all immigrants for that matter that already live here, I think it's going to make this World Cup really extraordinary.
Okay. I mean, he seems nice. He seems fine. I honestly get the vibe that he's a little, I don't know, full of himself, self-important a little bit. Like, you didn't make them cry. Messi made them cry when he made the goal. You added to it. You did a great job, but that's fine. That's fine. He seems like a nice guy. Uh, he can make me cry, and then he said flirt. What would that make sense? That's, you don't want to do that. Somehow the camera's out of focus. What do you mean somehow? You just show up here? Is your first time here? Physics gone? You have been following since 2022. What are you surprised by? It has one fixed focus point. If I lean back, it's blurry. If I go too far forward, it's blurry. You have been here for years. You have hundreds of chat messages. What is shocking you? No autofocus? Do you think what I described sounds like autofocus? No, there's no autofocus, bro. Once I get this new camera installed from Nick, we'll have it. We'll have autofocus. No, it's not a turn on thing. I don't have it. It doesn't have it. I've been following for so long, my chat history probably shows me aging and growing as a person. You've been following since 21, so that is 5 years. And if I go all the way back to your very first chat message, you were timed out by Nightbot for spamming emotes. And then you asked me, have you heard the new Jack Harlow album? Okay. And then I go to now, and you said, can you ask Grok to generate a Subway Surfer video to go above it so I can look at it between words? Have you evolved? That sounds the same, bro. You don't sound fundamentally different. That doesn't feel like character development to me now. It feels like the same guy. I guess you now have access to Grok. So in that way, you've developed. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't know that, honestly, that's growth. Have you kept up with MSI at all? Beating. Oh, wait. NA beating you? No, I didn't watch MSI because Faker lost, and I was doing a hunger strike to avoid it. MSI bracket. I heard Faker was out. They lost the G2. Oh, but so did North America's out too. I thought you were gonna fucking surprise me that North America went crazy. It's China versus Korea. China 1 seed versus Korea 1 seed. When is this, tomorrow? Is this tonight? Wait, when is Billy versus Hanwha? It's in 9 hours? Shit. I bet that's gonna be really good. I bet that'll be a really good match. Shit, that'd be fun. There's a League Classic show match. Wait, when does League Classic come out? League Classic release date. Oh, they're going to tell us tonight. It came out 10 years ago. When does it come out again? When does it release? What's going on in this World Cup game? Still 1-1? The regulation time is up. Are they doing penalty kicks? Or it's extra time? Mm, 30 minutes, then penalty kicks. Oh, I see. Okay. 30 minutes extra. Intense, bro. It's like campers. Intense. What up, Crane? How you doing? I'm doing well. I'm having a good Saturday. Got a workout in. Dude, this is half of tech YouTube now. Someone link me this. The AI bubble is starting to pop. The AI bubble is getting worse faster than expected. Another strike at the AI bubble. The AI bubble pop has started. The AI bubble just keeps popping. They just admitted the AI bubble was popping. It's just everybody's money farming, bro. Mm. You should understand. Maybe I don't understand. Maybe I'm just a fool. Did you see the news about Apple suing OpenAI? Yep, I did. I'm working on a presentation about it. I think it's very interesting, but not done yet. Probably do it on Monday. Hey, Atrioc, first time chatter here. I'd like your opinion on a job offer I received from ESMC. There's a TSMC in Europe and it's called ESMC? Fuck, that's cool. It's in Germany. It includes a 1-year training program in Taiwan, which seems like an incredible opportunity. The alternative is staying in Switzerland after graduation, where I'd likely to make 50% more, work fewer hours, and have a good chance of getting a full-time offer from my current company. Ooh, tough call. Actually, tough question. In your position, I'd probably take the Taiwan offer. I think that's really fucking cool. A year in Taiwan, it's just super interesting. But Switzerland's nice, man. Yeah, you're at abundance of choice. I guess try to really figure out what your job would be in Switzerland. And if you'd like it, if you'd enjoy it. But yeah, if it's fewer hours, more money, and you're staying in a place you like, I guess you got to take it. I mean, I can't tell you to be stupid about it. You know, early salary gains compound. Makes it more likely the next job you take will have a higher salary or what, you know, it's just like, you kind of want to take these early boosts when you can get them. But I feel like you want to go to Taiwan, just the way you said it. And man, a year paid for by the company to live in a cool place like Taiwan, experience that, broaden your horizons, especially if you're young. I feel like that's cool, man. I think that's cool as hell. I'd probably take Taiwan, but I can understand why you wouldn't. Plus, like, you're not really in the phase of your life where you're desperate for squeezing out every free hour. Maybe you're kind of you're possibly like I was. Maybe you're in a hustle phase and you're like, I kind of want to move up. I want to like grind. I want to like, plus. Wait, major plus is like, you know, there's a world where this becomes ever more strategically important. And Europe, like America, is like, we have to get chip building out of Taiwan. It's too threatening. We're too dependent. And then all of a sudden, your value just goes up and up. Not saying you're wrong, but early salary doesn't matter a ton. I started as a 10 and inclined to being well compensated. I mean, I'm not saying that your individual story is incorrect, but that you can't say you're wrong. Here's a anecdote. I'm telling you, it's just a fact. It's a fact that like people that graduate during recessions and get a lower starting salary, it carries with them for a very long time. It's just it snowballs, but I understand that it doesn't mean 100% of the time you can definitely get around it. Blue, thank you for the raid. Blue SR, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the broadcast. We're kind of doing a sweat on Norway versus England in the World Cup. And then we're going to do a section called Get Smarter Saturdays, where we try to watch YouTube videos that make us smarter. Impossible challenge. Shout outs for the raid. Appreciate it. I just did all 52 Silk Song achievements in one sitting. Fuck. Wait. Let's try. Let's try right now. I'm going to do, can I beat... Should I try to do... It's not really hard. Let's do Absolute Radiance. Radiant Absolute Radiance right now in honor of Blue. I get 3 tries. 3 tries. I can't do it in 3. I'm so out of breath. I can't do it. I can't do it. No fucking way, dude. This is England scored? Holy. It's coming home, lads. Everyone switch. Abandon the Norwegian ship. Get some beans, get some toast. Blimey. This one's for Binface, isn't it? Okay. Did you beat this before? Yeah, bro. Dozens and dozens and dozens of times. But all a while ago. Score some fucking goal. Okay, focus, lock in. Damage. Spells. Holy. Ah! Oh my God, he's swagging! Holy fuck. He's swagging. Wait, he's swagging. This one's for you, Blue! Oh, this part's where you can't get it, though. This one's... No, give me a good spawn for once in my life. Oh, fuck. No, give me a good spawn for once in my damn life. Oh, I can't do it. You got some chip? Oh, fuck! It didn't hit the wall. Oh, tragic. Try one more. I can try one. Come on. Dude, we're doing 3. If I don't get it 3, it's done. I'm not gonna try again. I'm not ready. I think I'm that phase 2 is. What was the lemonade state prediction for the match? We predicted Morocco's gonna win the World Cup, so our fucking predictions are ass. Lemonade stand got everything wrong, I think. But we did it based on news. We did a themed episode where it's only news can be used to predict the World Cup. So it's not scientific. Oh, 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 oh. Oh my God. Hey, when they chain them like that. Ah! Ah! No, no! That's impossible. All right, one more. Last one, all on the line, and we're gonna need a song for it. The Morocco news was crazy. It literally was. The giant sand wall of Morocco. Okay, last try. Dude, I locked in so hard. Oh, I locked in so hard, bro. It spawned on top of me. Ah, I locked in so hard. I haven't locked in that hard in a fucking minute. All right, GG. GG. Sometime in the future. A little Linkin Park. A little Linkin Park. Anyway, Blue SR. Congratulations on beating the achievements. You are a Hollow Knight god, and I am merely an acolyte at the altar. Norway out. Wait, penalty for England? Explain what's happening. Norway versus England. It looks like it's over, bruv. Jude Bellingham's done it again. This fucking Belland has done it again. They're gonna Viking row home. Did you guys see the Norwegian fan who refused to do the row because it wasn't historically accurate? So he's just sitting there in the crowd. That guy was so funny. That was so funny, bro. Probably Swedish. Swedish tendencies for sure. Bellingham, dude. I can't believe he's done it. So, sorry, I forgot, but doesn't that mean that England, now that they've won, assuming this holds, They're playing Argentina, likely. Woo! Dude, what if, man, it kind of would be fucking crazy. You know what? Here's the thing. Can I say it? Maybe England needs this. It's like a tough time in the UK. Maybe they need this. Honestly. A little, it would be good for morale, dude. Tell you who doesn't need it of the remaining countries in this fucking tournament. I'll tell you who doesn't need it is Switzerland. I don't want to see Switzerland go one more step. Switzerland is fine. They have the best damn currency in the world. They got a incredibly high median income. They have a high happiness rating. They don't fucking need it. It's midnight. I can hear my neighbors cheering. Are you in the UK? This is the most corrupt World Cup ever. This is the most corrupt World Cup so far. But you just wait 4 years, bro. Wait, VAR decided no foul. Norway can still win? Do you think Bernie can still win? Can you think Bernie Sanders could perhaps play striker for Norway and hit a fucking long cross into the back of the net, thus winning him the election and winning Norway the cup? If Mike Pence has the courage to. You need to find me 3 more goals. There's still 20 minutes of playtime? God damn! Who knows what could happen? I need King Charles to pull a Trump and rig the rest of the match. Dude, Trump fucked up so bad with that red card thing. My God, dude. Do you realize that if he had just left it a fucking alone and not gotten involved and not said anything, it would have been the ultimate option select for America? It would have been great. We could have lost to Belgium and blamed it on not having our star player. It would have been awesome. It would have been heads held high. It's like people that play low tiers in Melee. You play Louis or like fucking Pichu or whatever. And then if you win, it's like, haha, I beat you. Even though the odds were against me. And if you lose, you go, well, of course I'm supposed to lose. I'm in Pichu. It's incredible. It's a mental protection. We had that with the red card. Are you implying our great president doesn't think things through? No, I guess you're right. Obviously, I would never imply that Donald J. Trump doesn't think things through. He is the greatest president of all time. I guess it's stupid of me to think that, like, he's made a mistake at all. What other sport than basketball do you watch? No, I really just watch basketball. Like, you're talking about actually watching a full game? I just watch basketball. Otherwise, I'm like highlights and like fucking Twitter drama or whatever. I like moving the chains, though. That's true. American football, they move them chains. You don't wake up at 6 a.m. for F1? I just have Leclerc. That's real fans call him. I have Leclerc text me the updates. He lets me know what's going on. Big A, I got a job. Okay, I'm happy for you. This is a first-time chat message, so it's like, do you know me? Like, you just showed up. It's like, is your first time here, bro? I mean, W, congratulations. It's just funny. And it's all thanks to Big A. No, I'm happy for you. That's that. I mean, listen, genuinely, especially when hunting for a job, especially your first job, it feels nice to have that monkey off your back, bro. I distinctly remember it. I fucking ran around my house screaming. Parents' house. I was living with my parents. I ran outside. I dropped the phone. I ran in a circle. I said, yeah. I was happy, dude. So, football is actually an entertaining sport. Soccer is made for the feudalistic European peasant mind. Discuss. Maybe I'll become a drama channel where I'll just get insane shatters to say rage bait shit to each other, and I'll just toss it up and let them all fucking. That'd be awesome. Then I could be like Smosh reads Reddit comments, and I'll just read chatter arguments. That could be beast, bro. That could be. This could be a good direction. This could be beast. We need a guy from left field. We need a guy who's like, I think cricket is the only real sport. We need a cricket guy. We need somebody who's like fucking football, soccer. I don't give a shit. If it doesn't have a wicket, I'm not watching. We need someone like that. I think soccer would be better if they gave Messi a gun. Speak to that. Just Messi. Lionel Messi, one of the best players, probably the best player in soccer history. You want to give him a gun. Is he allowed to use it? Can he shoot opponents? He's earned it. He's earned it. Okay. Just to intimidate them, I see. Like, yeah.
Tonight, we ask, who is General Aladdin? According to Wadi in propaganda, at the age of 7. Eccentric and with unlimited oil wealth, he recently hosted his own Olympic Games.
On your mark. Get set.
At which he won 14 gold medals.
That's Messi's, you're thinking? As Messi gets older, we don't want him to retire, so we just let him do this. Trump should do this, bro. Add a little spice. Nothing can surprise me now. Atrioc playing basketball every week? You think every week when I play basketball, I shoot my friends? Some of whom are very big streamers, much bigger than me. I shoot them. They all are afraid of me, and I don't think that's it. I don't. They move the basket to make your shots go in. And it seems like it sometimes. The way my fucking shot falls, feels like the basket's moving to it. Because I'm that fucking wet with it. Bam, bro. Haven't seen Clint Stevens streaming in a while. Clint Stevens is a feast or famine, bro. As a true Clint fan, you know that when he's gone, it's like a bear hibernating. And then he comes out, probably with a new game or something, plays it religiously for a week or two, and then he's gone again. It's like a sighting. When rents due, I don't think he does it for the money, to be honest, because if he did, his strategy makes no sense. So I think Clint has much deeper reasons and rationales. A man of true wisdom. Yeah, he does. He's like 2 weeks a year, basically. Dude, he showed up and played Mario 64 for like 3 weeks and then just dipped again. He played Hitman too. And I think he beat Hitman. Freelancer. I don't know if he did. I think hardcore. Clint's a real gamer, bro. I respect him. Scumlord Studio, thank you for that 12 months, bro. Huge Nuts, thank you for the 60. Subbed for as many years since Big A played Inscription. You think it's been 60 years since I played Inscription? Probably right. Probably ballparking it. Meow Major, thank you for the 20 months. Penumbria, thank you for the 59. Pink Pez God, thank you for the 3 months. Hyper Viper, thank you for the 8 months. Fish Streams, thank you for the Prime. Mary Celeste, thank you for the 4 months. Hyro Random, thank you for the Prime. Cosmic, thank you for the 3. Holland subbed, it's Jover. It's Jover. Do you plan on playing Zelda TOTK eventually? Tears of the Kingdom? Yeah, I mean, I do. I don't know when or where, but one day out of the blue, bro. The game probably was really fun for me. I love that open world shoot. I was thinking about this. Dude, do you guys remember? Maybe this exists. Do I have this? Hold up. Let me think. Let me think. Is this what I'm thinking of? How much time do I have left? Yeah. Okay. I was thinking about what I love about games. Like, what makes a game perfect to me? I was thinking about this after fucking 007. And, do you remember? Okay. When I played this teardown level, and in this teardown level, you have to get these glowing canisters from the top of this map all the way to the bottom, but there's killer robots in the way. And so I said, instead of going all the way through the facility, I was like, what if I strap them to this van and I drive off a cliff? And that's on there good. That's locked in. And then I cleaned all the grass down, and then eventually hit the gas, baby! And then eventually, after trying it again and 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 again. Give me a vehicle thruster. Wait, this one. I think eventually, after all of these resets, no, dude, there must have been so many resets. And like everyone in chat's like, it doesn't work, and they just kept saying to stop doing it. And then eventually, I did it so many times. Different way, okay? The fucking. I had to hammer everything out to make it smooth. Is this the one? I tried to ram a car into it to make it move. I tried to ram a truck into it to make it move. Wait, is this it? No. Did I ever get it? Do this. Okay, here's the plan. I'm gonna run it off the side 5 times, and if that doesn't work, I'm screwed. It doesn't even go off the side anymore. The car is such a piece of junk. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Fucking go. Sorry, it's called science. I'm sorry it's called science, you dumbasses. And then it worked, bro. I'm sorry it's called science. It fucking worked. And it actually got it. And then I kept driving. And I was like, wait a minute. I have to get it onto the boat. Yeah, I got a special delivery for you. Holy! Yeah, dude. I mean, that's so fucking sick. That's why I love doing different shit. There's like 0% chance that is even ever thought of as a remotely intended way. And I think that's so fucking awesome. That's why I love Hitman. I love games like that. I love a game where you can just, every time you play, it's different. You can do a totally unique thing. That's why I'm kind of liking this Pokemon game, by the way. It's like my copy is 100% unique. We can't plan for anything because it's randomized. What I get is, it's really cool. I like that. It's very emergent gameplay. Um. Boo, boo, da, boo, boo. My copy's 100% explosion. Yeah, all I get is explosion TMs and Eviolites. I'm getting kind of screwed, honestly. I quit my stressful job and have a few months off. Any good book recs? Oh, it depends on what you like, man. I like financial history, so my books that I recommend are often boring to people. I've had many people pick up a book I recommend and then tell me I didn't like it. So I can't give you advice. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to like it. The Wager is great. Or if you're not a huge reader, or not, I would say start with Red Rising, bro. It's fun. A fun, action-packed romp with a cool twist. What Pokemon game should I play? You think I'm a Pokemon expert? You're correct. So I'm just wondering when you discovered that. Yes, I'm a Pokemon expert. Yes, I can tell you what to read. I would say if you want to play a Pokemon game, you're going to want to get into Emerald, Kaizo, Relapsed, Reloaded, Fire Green Edition. That's what the real fans do. That's what the real fans know. If you don't know about it and you can't find the ROM, it's because you haven't unlocked that level of Pokemon. You have to do it on real hardware too, and you have to Nuzlocke it. And if you don't know it, then you're not ready, but you'll get there. Bellingham is out. I mean, it's over, right? It's got to be over. If Holland is out, Norway versus England. It's got to be over, bro. 15 minutes left. Why is Holland out if there's 15 minutes left and they just need a goal? That's what I don't get. Let me coach the Norwegian team. He's played for 100 minutes, so he's EP. So you're saying he's weak. Listen, I saw from the announcer that people watching things are just as tired as people playing. Okay? And as somebody who's reacting to chat talking about it, I'm exhausted and I'm still doing it. It's not basketball. They don't have timeouts every 2 seconds. That is true, bro. The pace of basketball has got to speed up. Too many free throws. Slows the game down. Or they're going to try and switch it to 1 free throw instead of 2. But it's double points. They need a 5-point shot. There should be a rule in basketball, not a longer distance, because that's boring. I don't want like more and more Steph Currys. There should be a rule in basketball where you do a really swaggy shot that you get an extra point. That would be sick. If your shot is swaggy, they add 1 extra point. The rule of cool. The rule of cool, bro. Hey, Voodoo is thank you for the 63 months. Much appreciated. Can you get dividends? Well, I'll work on that. We'll work on getting sub dividends. NBA street rules, yeah. And if you're a player people like, your points count double. So, if you're like a well-liked player, like Bronny James points count double because he's kind of an icon. That way we can help equalize the league. What about a moving target on the court? And if you have a foot in it when you hit a shot, it counts for 5. Okay, so there's like a spotlight doing a small red circle that's moving around the court at all times. And if you can get in that circle and then make a shot, you get 5 points. That is a Mario Party minigame. It would be kind of hype. It would be kind of hype. I'm not going to lie to you. If it's fast, like if you have to be like, you have to jump in it and instantly shoot, that is kind of hype. What about half-court shots being worth 4 or 5? No, you don't want that. You don't want half-court shots being good because eventually someone will get good enough the way Steph Curry did with threes. And eventually you're going to have a guy who just jacks up half-court shots and makes a good percentage of them. And it's going to be so boring. It's going to be so boring. And then everyone in the game is going to be doing 2 catapults. It'll be terrible. It'll be terrible. Green Giant. All right, well, while this England thing's going on, let's do a quick Anno. Huh? Let's do some dailies on this fine Saturday while we are spending time. Anno! Google is founded by Larry Page and Sergey Brin in a California garage, launching the world's most used search engine. This is late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, Google becomes a big deal. You know, let's say like 2003. But founded is different. Founded could be earlier. It could have taken a couple years. I know Yahoo almost bought them. I'm going to go ahead and say, 2001. 98 would have been better. That made more sense. A little more time. Okay. The first televised presidential debate between Kennedy and Nixon transforms. What did I say? Kennedy and Nixon. I made up a name. Kennedy and Nixon transforms how political campaigns are conducted. This is a very famous debate where Kennedy is the first person to mog someone else on television. The first person to mass mog someone. Nixon was sweaty, and famously, voters that were polled that listened to the radio broadcast said Nixon won the debate. But everyone that watched the TV said Kennedy won. And because we were in the age of TV, this is like 60 something. Maybe 64. 64, 68, 72. This could also be 60. This could also be 1960. I'm going to say 64. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it all to hell. Listen to your gut. Fuck. All right, whatever. I'll take it. 88. Tsar Alexander II abolishes serfdom in Russia, freeing 23 million serfs in the country's most transformative reform. Interesting. Serfdom now illegal. I don't know when this would have happened. I feel like Russia's always loved serfs. They're going to get rid of serfs? Let's say the 1800s. Let's go 1824. 61! Okay, not bad. A little bit too long to still have serfs, honestly. Late 1800s? We're in the Industrial Revolution. You still got 23 million serfs, bro. We got World War I in just a few years. No wonder what happened to them. Louis XIV, the Sun King, moves his court to Versailles, creating the most opulent royal palace in Europe and the model for absolute monarchy. The stories of this court are crazy. It is so wild that everyone powerful and influential in France at this time had to drop everything, go live in his palace, and constantly basically like dance for him and do whatever he asks to maintain favor. It was the weirdest and wildest situation. Obviously, I was there, IRL. I was a bit of a chiller, though. Louis XIV loved me because I could fucking smoke him out. I was fucking beast. Let's see. I mean, let's try to work backwards. French Revolution. That's only a few Louis later, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think this is 1678. 82! Damn, that's fucking close. Damn, that's fucking close. Okay, in 97. That's a banger. Justinian the First. Okay, this is like Byzantine, Constantinople shit. This is Eastern Roman Empire. Codifies Roman law in the Corpus Juris Civilis, the foundation of legal systems across continental Europe to this day. Okay, so let's say it's like a Rome fall angle. Then we go 1,000 years of Eastern Roman Empire. And let's say they codified it late. And then it became the foundation. So let's say 891. Is that fucking crazy? Damn it, bro. I'm like 400 years late. Fuck. 300 years late. Yeah. I mean, I just didn't know when they would fucking codify it, bro. Like, when are you going to write that shit down? Decent. Sharp historian. Not bad. Not bad. What's 300 years between friends? That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. All right, what about play the Atriocal? Oh, I saw this. Wait. We have to shout this out. Atriocal. Atriocal.com. Someone made this for the Reddit. I should write their name. Who made it? Made by 8N. 8N made an Atrioc daily game called Atriocal. And it's actually good in terms of the game. I thought it would just be like typing the word Atrioc. But what it does is on the daily, it generates 5 videos from the entire history of Atrioc videos, and you have to put them in order, which I tried once and failed. However, this one I think I can actually do. There's a date in one of the titles. Darman is like earliest days of Atrioc. Darman Reacts. That's like a day one. This is playing League with OTK and Mogul Moves. That's probably right here. Early COVID. Brands getting roasted is probably right here. Marketing Monday best tweets type shit. Also, I can almost tell by the thickness of the purple line if you want to get really fucking in the weeds. Because I started out when I made my videos with no purple line, then a thick fucking purple line, and then I was like, this is too thick, and I dialed it back. So that's something. The Best of Atrioc award show has got to be here. That's the hilarious one where Anthpo made a truly funny, one of the funniest community clips ever. And then the finale of Hitman Horse. That's like pretty recent. Yeah. Oh, what? I failed Atriocal again. Finale. We've done like 10 Hitman Horses. How is this the finale then? We did Hitman Horse just a day ago. Fake fan? Truly a fake fan, bro. No, solved in 2 though. One more new random. Okay, my stream in a nutshell, and it's just me wearing a child-sized t-shirt. That's gotta be early. That's gotta be early. The most incredible boss in Silk Song is probably very recent. I interviewed the World Treasure Shot. That's like only a year and a half ago, something like that. The most creative heist in gaming. The thing is, this could actually be any teardown video because I call them all this title. Every teardown video has the same title, where it's just me, a teardown screenshot. I draw on it and I say the most creative heist in gaming. So this could be anywhere. And then Harry Potter the game. This is not the Quidditch one. That is a different title. So I don't even know what this is. I didn't play or make a video of Hogwarts Legacy. So what is this video? I banked it. What is Harry Potter the game? No, I didn't. Hey, Atrioc, do you actually like Harry Potter, or is this Harry Potter stuff just a meme? I mean, no. Harry Potter, cringe, dude. I mean, do I go to conventions dressed as Harry Potter and say, "Hello, governor, Wingardium Leviosa"? Yeah, sure. Who doesn't? Do I pay an actor to walk around looking and acting like Hagrid and telling me, "You're a wizard, Atrioc," but in a Hagrid voice? He actually has a bad one. I should have paid a better actor. Yeah, of course I do that. Obviously. But I'm not a fan, okay? Truly, you have not changed? Crane, I'm sure I could fucking scrape your chat history from the same period and find out that you are also the same person. Let's not throw stones from glass houses. My goodness. My goodness, bro. That'd be cringe. Are J.K. Rowling's tweets still... I'm sorry, is this video just me just talking about Harry Potter with chat? Rowling novels end. When are you watching the Hogwarts Legacy thing? Are you rushing me? Penguins for Life 4, are you rushing me? Because I feel like I was really just, I feel like I could do at least another tight 30, 45 minutes on the Harry Hagrid story. We're going to watch the Hogwarts Legacy gameplay reveal showcase that was revealed today. This is a video? Dude, it's so funny. I'll upload a video now on the main channel. Everyone's like, this is a main channel video? Bro, fucking look at what's on the main channel. This has 320,000 views? I just ranted about Harry Potter for a bit, then I watched the trailer. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. That is crazy. I didn't even play the game. The game was ass. Dude, I played the game off stream for like an hour, one day. And the second, this goes back to the teardown thing. The second the game was like, you can't walk there, get back on the path, I quit. Because I was like, oh, it's an open world. I can explore everywhere, do whatever I want. And I started the game and I started running in one direction. And then it was like, you can't walk there. And I was like, all right. Then I fucking quit. That was on stream. It literally wasn't. You've actually Berenstein Bears yourself. Isn't that crazy? You've invented a memory. You can go search forever. It doesn't exist. I didn't do it on stream. You've completely made, because I've told this story before. And so you've got it in your brain as something that happened that you watched. But it didn't. You made it up. In my dreams, it did. They just have you running place to place like you're on Amazing Race. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I don't like that, I think it's like Ubisoft style open world, where it's like, it's an open world, but the world, here's what I like. It's not about whether the world is open. It could be a game with very linear goals. What I like is where you have a lot of systems and they interact together in ways that are unpredictable so that you, the character, have a lot of agency. Like, everything's not scripted. It's not about being open world or not. It's about, it's almost like, in a way, it's like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Factorio could be an example, I guess, but I'm thinking the best game examples for me are Teardown and Hitman. They're the perfect ultimate gold standards. But Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is a perfect example. Tears of the Kingdom is like, hey, here's a goal. We've created all these systems where you can create and build things. You figure it out. And whatever solution you come up with is going to be yours. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's genius. Deus Ex, another great example. But Deus Ex a little bit. The first Deus Ex for sure, but later Deus Ex not so much. Because a lot of games are like this. A lot of games that are open world are really this. It's not like you are actually doing anything. It's like, hey, you could go left or you could go through the grate, but you end up in the same spot and they plan, like these are both very scripted, tightly controlled. They just gave you 2 options or 3 options. And it's like, oh, this game has so many different ways to attack the problem. But it's not really. It's not like I'm thinking of, like, for example, Cyberpunk is not like this. Because I remember even in the glitchy early days of Cyberpunk, I remember I played it on stream and there was a challenge where I had to kill a guy upstairs in a club or something. And I leveled up my jump skill, then jumped onto a thing to get onto the balcony to sneak in. And it was sick. It was like not planned. It was, Dispatch is like this. Yeah, I mean, listen, these are not my favorite kind of games, but I think with Dispatch, I give it huge props because if you're not going to be that kind of game, then just lean fully into having a great story and like, just like fuck all that. Like, if you're not going to have a lot of choices, interaction, just like, and I think it did a good job. It's a story game. Like, I wouldn't want Dispatch to try and be Teardown. You think First Light intended to only throw guns? No, but that's the part I liked most about First Light. Was because I was able to do something unintended in First Light, it kept me engaged and enjoying it. Because I was able to kind of break it or two. I don't like just doing it. It's like I don't know. With a video game, if I feel like I'm having the exact same playthrough as a million other people, it feels boring to me. Outer Wilds, what a great game. Outer Wilds, no playthrough is even close to alike. That's the every Outer Wilds playthrough 100% unique. That's awesome. Blueprint's kind of like that. You might like Disco Elysium. I think I would like Disco Elysium, but it's definitely not a stream game. So it's tough. Minecraft is somehow both. Yeah, Minecraft is like that. But multiplayer games are a little different. Multiplayer games probably automatically solve this problem. Whenever you're engaging with another human, humans always find a way to break it. I don't know how to say this. Like, because it's unpredictable because you're fighting a human opponent or your humans are doing different things. It's like, it's not a problem in multiplayer games. But the single player side is what's interesting. Dress to impress in Roblox? Exactly. That's what I was getting to. And so the whole point of this rant that I'm doing is to get to the end of the thesis, which is that so the greatest game of all time is Dress to Impress in Roblox. Everything is it's because everyone gravitates towards a meta. Unavoidable. Human beings will always gravitate towards a meta as long as they live. The people that play the most will figure out better ways to play, and the other people will copy it online. It's just impossible to avoid. There's no getting around it. No game could solve it. The closest thing you can do is kind of like a TFT situation where they patch it so frequently, the meta changes so often that there's like these little lag points where everyone hasn't caught up. Atrioc, I'm very desperate for cash, but I'm too aware to go on Kalshi and lose it all, and too ethical to get into crypto. Do you have any advice? It's a tough situation, right? Because you want money, which everyone in the world wants. And you at very least have figured out that crypto and gambling are siren songs that will steal whatever money you have. So good on you. Don't do those. But realistically, bro, the answer is a job. And if you can't find one, I totally get it. It's a tough market, but that's the answer. The answer is you have to trade your time and expertise and or skill in something for money. That is the... I guess if you have really attractive feet, someone is telling you can do feet pictures. I guess. If that's what you want to do, you could do that. But even that, if you're going to do it right, is a job. It's all jobs, bro. It's all jobs all the way down. There's things about it you'll have to do. You have to get good lighting for your feet. You have to get a good camera. You have to practice. You have to market your feet. It's work. You have to get out there on. You know what I'm saying? It's. Do you have any more book recs? I think there's a Big A Book Club website where I've wrecked all the books. I'm currently reading Disney War. It's pretty good so far if you're interested. It's for the Lemonade Stand Book Club. It is about the internal boardroom struggles to take over Disney in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's a good corporate drama. England really milking this win. They're still on the field singing tunes. Bro, it's been no time at all. Let them. Let them. It's a World Cup quarterfinals win. It's been barely any time. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to celebrate. No fun allowed. Bro, let me tell you something. If Norway had won, we'd still be rowing for sure. If Norway won, he'd still be hitting the drum and we'd be rowing. Now Norway's rowing back to Scandinavia. I kind of feel bad. Norway had quite a story this run. English people have it tough at home. They need something. I mean, yeah, when you think about it, dude, Norway doesn't need this. Everyone in Norway is 6'3", eats fish all day. They have infinite oil wealth, creating a strong social safety net. Like they don't need this shit. Let the UK have this moment. Give them a chance. Did you see my YouTube presentation on you? I swear this one isn't an ad. I turned a streamer into a DVD logo. I mean, I didn't see this. You want me to watch? Is this for Class Clown? Because I'm going to watch the Class Clown thing. I know I've said that a million times, but I've been trying to do it after a Marketing Monday, which has been hard to finish. Shuckle, thank you for the 42 months. Oh, let me do what I want to do. What's the game where you put events in order? Events in order. Daily game. Chronal. Let me run a quick chronal, bro. Just to get our fucking timeline straight. Chronal. Play. All right, easy. Events in order of when they happened. The Girl Scouts of USA were founded. That's got to be a long time ago. The ATM was first used. Oh, fuck. The first New York Times? The first Sesame Street, the first Denny's, the Caesar salad. You know, when you go to Tijuana, Mexico, they tell you the Caesar salad was invented there. I don't know if it's true, but they always tell you that. I've been to TJ quite a few times now for Ari's family, and restaurants will tell you, everyone tells you Caesar salad was invented right here in Tijuana. It seems fake, but maybe it's real. I have no idea when this would happen. This is actually a very difficult one. I think New York Times first, Girl Scouts second, ATM third, maybe Caesar, ATM, Sesame Street, Denny's. Is this perfect? Or maybe it's Denny's, Sesame Street. No, let's do this. Ah! Maybe it's Denny's, Sesame Street. Maybe it's like this. Denny's, ATM, Sesame Street. Okay, not bad. Not bad in two. Not bad in two. Let's look up the history of that Caesar salad. I want to know where it actually started. Where did the Caesar salad originate? Oh my God, it did. An Italian immigrant and restaurateur, Caesar Cardini, created it at his restaurant Caesar's in Tijuana, Mexico. Holy fuck, they didn't lie. Well, I'm glad I looked that up because I've always thought in my head that it was made up. Imagine someone introduces themselves as an inventor and they invented a fucking salad. Okay, bro. I'm sorry, but what did you invent? You're talking a big Caesar salad is like a world spanning invention. All right, you're looking down on someone who made a pretty tasty salad that a lot of people have eaten. Atrioc thinks only people can invent things. Why are you saying fuck me for? I just looked it up. I'm celebrating it. That guy, do you realize when the chat types and I bring it up on screen, it's not me thinking it. This is not a thought bubble of my thoughts. This is a chatter that's in your group that I'm bringing up to talk about. It's not. I personally am proud of my Latino heritage for that side of me creating the Caesar salad. He uses the pop-up to keep us down, give us a taste of power. That's such a wise thought, Big Egg 1122. You're really thinking. You know what? You're one of the good chatters. You're one of. I think your ideas deserve a little bit of extra credibility, and I appreciate you, Big Egg, for being around here. I've always said that. He's doing it right. Hey, Big A, I've been watching you forever. Like since you were talking about like cyberpunk hype or something. I don't even remember. This is the first time chat message, just to be clear. But I'm dyslexic and I finally got 4 books. Well, I guess 5 anyway. I looked it up online and the easiest book to get into out of all of them was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it feels like a boomer's wet dream. I was wondering what you thought of it was. No, you're pretty right. I mean, I can tell. I don't know. I was going to say, yeah, you're right. You're right. I read the book. It is a boomer's wet dream. There's some things about that book that can stick with you that'd be helpful, but overall, it's pretty not appropriate for the modern economy. What did I like about Rich Dad, Poor Dad? The book is basically just about like, if you get a little money, you're going to want to spend it on something that makes more money. You want to invest it or you're going to put it into something. Or if you spend it on a thing or a Gucci belt or whatever, then it's going to go away. That's the idea. It's the fucking... But the problem is like when that was written, it's like, oh, you can buy a house for $100,000 that's going to go up 12% a year for the rest of your life. And that's like, okay, oh, thanks for the advice. I'll be the rich dad now. But now assets are at their peak. Like assets are so expensive. So it's hard when you're young and you trade your time for your labor for money to get enough money to get on the asset ladder, to buy property that'll go up or buy stocks that'll go up. That's the hard part. So everyone's creating fake volatility with the money they do have and buying crypto, gambling, Pokemon cards, sneakers, whatever. They're trying to find other things and turn them into high risk assets so they have a chance to moon. I'm about to come into 500K from a divorce. I have no job and I'm terrified. I mean, listen, a divorce can be, I'm sure, extremely stressful. 500K is a pretty solid nest egg to get started. just to keep it a buck. $500,000 is enough to like figure yourself out. That's a lot. If you don't waste it, if you don't blow it, if you live frugally, that gives you a lot of time to find out something you want to do and work on it and make a job. Plus, a divorce is probably a great time to like Do a little soul searching. Find out what you like to do. Doesn't sound so bad, honestly. I'm just trying to give you a silver line. I'm not trying to undermine what you're saying. You played Riftbound at all? No. I might do it when they release a Fizz Commander card or whatever, because I love Fizz that much. But otherwise, I'm kind of magic pilled if I'm going to play a card game. I mean, speaking of divorce, the new Good Work is about dating. So let's watch it. Let's kick off Get Smarter Saturdays. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Get Smarter Saturdays. A segment of the stream where we watch YouTube videos to get smarter. The rules of Get Smarter Saturdays are uniquely, I won't say simple, because we're too smart for that. They're uniquely designed. There are 3 of the rules. Rule number 1 is the video can't be too long. Simple. The rule number 2 is the video can't be too boring. That's harder for a lot of you. Rule number 3 is by the end of the video, we collectively have to have learned something. If you hit all 3 of these rules, you got a GSS Classic, and we're all going to have a good time. Title change to Get Smarter Saturdays. GSS. Is anyone else participating in Smoke Crack Sunday tomorrow? Okay. I mean, if you get your IQ high enough today, you can do whatever you want on Sunday, including Smoke Crack Sunday.
You go to any party, you go to...
Dating Sucks in San Francisco by Good Work. Let's see what they discovered about the dating scene in San Francisco. Now, I did briefly participate, I guess, in the dating scene in San Francisco in this in-between period before Ari moved to San Francisco. And yeah, I guess it kind of sucked, but it was a different time. 2014, bro.
You go to any party, you go to any bar, there's going to be way more men than women.
What does that smell like?
It smells crazy.
There's been a lot of parties that I've been at that I'm the only one.
Oh, I'll also say, so I wasn't dating at this time, but in San Jose, where I lived later when I was working for NVIDIA, they called it Man Jose. And my God, dude, there are no women anywhere. In the heart of San Jose, in like where it's like fucking AMD, NVIDIA, Intel. Like it's, I don't understand. I don't understand, bro. What a horrible place to try and like date. Volume up. All right, we'll pop the volume up for you.
To any women?
Ooh, a little too loud though.
I'm a gay man.
You go to any party, you go to any bar, there's going to be way more men than women.
What does that smell like?
It smells crazy.
There's been a lot of parties that I've been at that I'm the only one talking to any women.
I'm a gay man, so it's been pretty amazing for me.
I'm trying to look for a girl that's not in tech.
I'm sweating a lot.
I'm sweating
I'm borderline lactating right now.
It's big and it's on the side of the freeway. It's hard to ignore. I did receive approximately 140 marriage proposals.
It doesn't matter how many girls, how many guys there are if nobody's talking to each other.
Do you have a hard time being yourself?
Maybe sometimes.
Maybe sometimes.
San Francisco, a seaside cosmopolitan oasis where the dating sucks.
Two more Atrioc
That's
viewers at
right,
Meta.
I find myself here in SF to find love. Not for myself, but for the losers who live here. You see, while San Francisco is known for its decades-long dominance in tech, exacerbated by the recent artificial intelligence boom, it's even weller known amongst the professional class as a nightmare for singles, a city where it's easier to find a charging port in a coding cafe than a loving partner who can reliably
Dude,
make...
I saw an article about, you know, this combination of extreme wealth in San Francisco and a horrendous dating market. This is like escorts in San Francisco are charging as much as $6,000 an hour. Thanks to Silicon Valley's AI boom. They're just transferring OpenAI stock money and SpaceX stock money directly to escorts.
you climax. So join me in my jaunt across this incredibly steep metropolis to find out exactly why it's so hard to find love in the city of fog.
Still cheap if you only need 30 seconds. So is this prorated? 6K divided, each 6K an hour. So it's like, I mean, I'm done. Let's find out. Good work.
The dating referred to in this episode largely refers to dating in a heterosexual sense. Heterosexuality is like if two straight people were homosexual for each other. To research dating in San Francisco is to uncover what appears to be a hormonal jungle of peculiar romance and pearl-clutching kinks. There are Date Me docs in which users detail personal information about themselves via
Date
Google
Me
Documents,
docs?
AI bots posing as dating experts.
Sorry, what is a Date Me doc? Tired of dating apps, some turn to Date Me docs. Okay, but isn't the point of dating apps the supply of interested singles? If I made a Date Me doc in Google Docs, how would anyone see it? Who are you sure people you know? You post it, but where? Where are you going to get tracked? LinkedIn? If you're not like an influencer and you're not, what are you posting it to? Physical flyers? This doesn't solve the problem.
Personal information about them.
LinkedIn. People are, I gotta look this up. I gotta read this article. People are posting Date Me docs to LinkedIn. That is only the 50th most cringe thing on LinkedIn, actually. It's not that bad. Tired of dating apps. Some turn to Date Me docs. Let's see. Okay. She created a Date Me doc. And where did she post it? Instagram, TikTok. I don't see LinkedIn. They're just plain text documents that are like a resume. Some made websites. What? Okay, this is from 2023, this article, by the way, that he put up here. I think this didn't work and it instantly was forgotten. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. I think this might have been a small scale thing.
Themselves via Google Documents, AI bots posing as dating experts, singles pasting their bios on telephone poles, men boxing in the park to kill each other and eliminate competition, Labubu leather harnesses, cuddle parties, Trader Joe's hookups, speed dating on the BART metro system, six-figure dating matchmakers, and all the polyamory you could ever regret reading about. Not to mention a whole bunch of yappers.
Everyone is poly, no one is serious, and other reasons dating in San Francisco is awful. How I found love and acceptance in a three-way. Cold cocktails, warm vibes at SF's polyamory happy hour.
With front-facing cameras.
San Francisco dating culture is the bane of my existence.
Dating in San Francisco.
I mean, in San Francisco, it's just a lot of like, a lot of strivers, you know? I used to like type A. They want to move up the ladder. They want a lot of money. They want that. That's like, you know, that's what you see. It's a lot of people like that. Taipei's in Taiwan. You got me.
So difficult.
One of the worst cities in America to date.
You have way too many guys and not enough women.
The ratio is really off.
Everyone here is kind of career focused.
Dating constantly the same type of like pool of guys in tech. Every fucking guy thinks he's a CEO, co-founder of some startup.
What's your opinion on dating as a startup founder? It's fucking impossible.
I am so sick and tired of seeing white people on my For You page complain about the dating scene in San Francisco.
People on the internet were giving me all kinds of reasons as to why dating was absolutely torched. The city was too small, the people too productive, but perhaps no reason was
online dating in SF is basically incest. This is crazy. Still a city of millions of people. That is not a correct statement. It's not like a small town, and it's certainly not incest.
Greater than that of there being too many men in the city. In fact, the pessimism surrounding Man Francisco was so potent that dudes felt the need to run up on me in public and talk to me about it. Huh? Have you heard that there's too many men in San Francisco as compared to women?
Yes.
As a man in tech, are you worried that you're contributing to that problem?
100%. I'm literally, as I'm saying that, I'm like, wait, am I like part of the problem as well?
Very likely. But in order to be sure, I had to do what many billionaire 20-something males building the god AI in this city are too timid to do. Go to a female's apartment and listen.
We've heard from some men that there are no women in San Francisco. What say you to that? Are you the only one?
I've been looking for others for a long time.
Kylie Robinson is a woman in San Francisco, as well as tech reporter for the fantastic Core Memory YouTube channel.
There's some women in San Francisco,
Core Memory?
but there is
Never heard of it.
like an insane ratio. You go to any party, you go to any bar, there's going to be way more men than women.
In your experience dating in San Francisco?
Damn, that's like an esports party.
You go to any bar, there's going to be way more men.
Damn, bro. That's an esports party. I've been to some of these, bro. It is turnt. It's fucking turnt. It's the fellas. Core Memory. Cool looking channel. I'm about to check it out.
And then women.
In your experience dating in San Francisco, how would you describe it?
It's interesting. There tends to be some sort of mixed communication for men and women. Women here tend to be more career driven, and they don't really need someone to add to their life financially or to get married super early or anything like that. And men just want to have sex because they only have an hour a week between work and the gym.
These men are having sex for an hour. We've also heard tell of people going to New York.
Oh, yes.
6K an
to
hour.
find a partner and then trying to lure them back to San Francisco.
That's a very real thing. You go to New York to find a wife or husband, and then you come back.
Who's doing that?
Me soon. The uniquely San Franciscan aspect of dating is the concentration of AI labs. I think in the 2010s, that was like the Facebook, Airbnb, these 2010 startups that sort of took over the city and made everyone.
I do remember talking to like coworkers who were women at Twitch, and they were trying to date, right? And they said that they would get, like back in this 2010s era, that oftentimes people who worked at like Google or Facebook, and like this happened multiple times, they would match with them, and then their whole personality was, I work at Google. And so for the date, they would take you to Google. And like this girl was telling me, like, this happens every time. They always do it. They always go, you know what would be a cool date idea is if I take you to Google. And then they like would walk you around the campus and show you around. And it was like a very common thing. But then people kind of use that for jobs. Maybe the girl works at
Everyone wear hoodies.
Apple.
Now it's like a concentration of AI labs, which tend to be like fresh graduates or people who just dropped out of college who are making millions of dollars a year and like retire at 23. It's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
I used to think there was nothing better than evasion. As a young corporate cog, my favorite thing to do was evade. Every year that vitally important responsibility we all have would come around, and every year...
Evade!
Clink.
I'm skipping this one because you guys are going to buy ZocDoc. It's a business-focused brand anyway.
If you'll excuse me.
We have a huge grind set culture. The recent Twitter trend was single until Series B. They've sworn off of dating until they raise their Series B.
Celeste Amadon is the founder of Known, a new dating app that seeks to pair young singles together using a unique...
This is crazy, bro, because I see this culture and then you like flash forward and like, what did they actually make? They're all founders of nothing. It's like a performative grind set culture. You're not actually grinding that hard. What are you creating? What is the business? Especially now when everything you're doing is like a prompt to AI. You're telling Claude to make you something. And what is your moat? What have you created that's differentiated in any way? You vibe coded something that kind of works, and that's the you have to have a product. You have to make something that someone wants to buy or excuse you, founder chatting here. I'm sorry, we have a founder in chat. I'm sorry if you have a founder in chat. Doesn't matter if it makes them temp rich enough to retire. No, I mean, some of them get rich, but honestly, my experience, I've been in Silicon Valley for I was here for a full decade. The ones that get rich just join some fucking mega cap that blows up with stock or gets acquired. Most of them don't get rich off founding stuff. They found something and then they use that to like string along to the next thing, but there's no money in it.
Anti-swiping AI algorithm.
Like right now in Silicon Valley, people are getting rich from working at OpenAI and Anthropic and SpaceX, but they're not getting rich from, I assume, starting this dating app that.
Have you heard of NGMI?
MGMI?
NGMI.
I was infected with that once.
Not going to make it. There's a lot of things in San Francisco that make you NGMI. If you dress really well, NGMI. If you post all day on Twitter and you don't build your product, you're NGMI. If you are dating and going out every night, you're NGMI. The idea is that they need to lock in. They need a generational lock-in.
Do you think that there's some validity to this claim that there's only fellas running around the Frisco?
I think it's a fallacy, and I think it actually stems from...
What's a fallacy?
It's something that appears to be real and you feel is real, but it's not. And if there's one thing that we also can all agree on in tech is that there's not that many women working in these tech companies in San Francisco. So I think the real complaint comes from the fact that because there's less women at these companies and working in tech, there's also less women in the social scene that is super intermixed with the tech scene. I'll go to a party, a house party in San Francisco, that is a
men. Ratio.
Or I'll go to an event hosted that's kind of on the fringe of being like a party or a networking thing, and I'll be the only woman there. I think that there's way more people in SF than you would realize that are actually looking for relationships and want to date. And the hard part is finding them and actually
just be furry.
Well, if there's one thing Dan Toomey's never struggled with, Celeste, it's certainly the hard part. And I knew just the place to find a guy in this tech-centric city who was looking for a date. The backyard sauna of his startup's seaside townhouse.
And then in here, this is the sauna?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. Do I get fully naked for this, or do I?
You can if you want
All
to.
right. Well,
we're here to discuss the difficulties of dating in San Francisco.
For sure.
My first question for you is, where are all these women?
I could not tell you. I think that San Francisco is
what is this
a place
startup
to
again?
network and not to date.
Reagan Shu is an engineer at the AI company Browser Use in his early 20s, who likes long walks on the beach, trying new restaurants, reading fantasy/fiction, playing volleyball, and ass.
Okay.
Ass. Oh, I'm sorry. That says assembling puzzles. My bad. It cut off on the next. It cut off on the next page. So,
like, I swear, every event I go to, party I go to, it's all men. They're all trying to give you their LinkedIn's. It's like it's actually all.
Dude,
so how do we get more women?
That's like one of the layers of hell. A party with all men giving you their LinkedIn? That's horrifying.
To come to San Francisco?
I could not tell you. There's almost zero incentive to come here.
Really?
if you're trying to date. I'm trying to look for a girl that's not in tech at this point.
It's not in tech.
I think I've talked enough about AI for like the rest of my life. If I hear one more time about transformer architecture, the new model release, and like everyone hyped about it, I'm just gonna lose my mind.
Have you been on dates in San Francisco?
I have. I got at least 5 people who just asked for like a internship on their Hinge. They said, please refer me to an internship. It was like part of their like bio.
That's so fucked. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. They turned Hinge into damn LinkedIn.
It was like, I'm on here for an internship. I'm not here to date.
Oh my
and
God.
naturally, my response is to send them my calendar.
Despite blacking in and out
That's
several
crazy.
times during this conversation, I could tell that Reagan was frustrated with dating, but not nearly as frustrated as Lisa Catalano, a Bay Area woman who I met later in the day that went so far as to purchase an entire...
The real strat is going to furry cons for referrals. I've seen it work. Why didn't you spell it referrals? Come on, bro. Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity, bro. MaryLisa.com?
billboard along Highway 101 that advertised her website, MaryLisa.com.
I was on all of these apps and unable to get a date or really even any meaningful conversations. And I figured, you know, I'll just create my own personal dating website.
Since putting up MaryLisa.com, Lisa told me she got around 4,000 application forms filled through the site by potential suitors, about 80% of which were real.
I did receive approximately 140 marriage proposals. I had a wide range of men filling out the form. The ages ranged from 16 to 79. I have a very extensive website. I even list my cup size on there.
Right.
I mean, I'm very transparent about who I am and what I'm looking for.
Sure.
And so, you know.
Pony up, boys. Tell me how big it is before you can fill out this.
Oh, and I need to get the stats on that specifically, but there were, I had a lot of men who were telling me how big it is.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
At this point, it was clear to me that the attention-loving singles of San
Well, that's just
Francisco
the,
were thirsty
Omegle
for
style.
genuine, honest, in-person connection. Without it, everyone would soon resort to blowing their limitless cash on billboards with their Hinge bio and dick sizes on them. I decided the best way to avoid that apocalyptic future would be to host a singles meetup in the middle of Alamo Square Park, a local rendezvous point for San Fran singles to get together and stand in separate gendered groups or whatever they normally do.
Okay.
Hopefully here I could gather a variety of locals to discuss their dating woes and maybe even hook up if the vibes are right.
We've heard tell that dating in San Francisco is a dumpster
All right,
fire.
Dan.
Ladies, is that true?
A dumpster fire is still warm.
I've heard that as well.
I would disagree.
Really?
Yeah, vehemently.
For women,
Oh,
I
is
would
that
say
guy
the quality
crushing?
of dating is low, but if you're a guy dating here, you have like top picks.
We've heard that it's a bit tough dating here.
It is.
Why?
I am not a tech person.
I think a lot of tech bros are in startups where they primarily interact with like other tech bros.
Do you work in tech?
Unfortunately.
Do you work in tech?
I do.
Do you work in tech?
I do.
And do you work in tech?
I do.
All the women just flee.
They're workaholics. Some of them are recovering workaholics. I don't want to date someone that their whole identity is their job.
There's been a lot of parties that I've been at that I'm the only one talking to any women.
So what are some of those challenges that are unique to the city? Eye contact?
Eye contact's a good point. This city's so competitive.
It's a cesspool of comparison. The way the tech industry is like being brought up here is that everyone's here trying to pitch their own startup at you. It really gets built into the psyche of how they view everything else in the world, including dating.
150K, has to work at Meta. All I hear is low value, high value.
What is that? Is that sperm count?
Who is the type of person that you would want to be with?
Hey! Oh, I don't think that's ours. I was going to say Atrioc viewer. Maybe Atrioc viewer. 150K kind of poverty in SF. Dude, it's so warped. This shit is so warped. This is bad. This is bad for people. But it's like self-selecting. It's not like people are turning into this. It's people that this type of person is going there because of the opportunity. Also, that guy looks just like Nathan Stans. You're correct. He's a little taller, but that looks like Nathan Stans for real. 150K is low. I mean, the guy's saying that. 150K for like, if you're trying to go crazy dating, yeah, it's probably low in SF right now because there's people on there that just made fucking $25 million young for working at Anthropic or fucking OpenAI. But 150K is still a great salary.
Well, I'm really into futurism, so someone that wants to be replicated, that would be a big plus.
I moved here with my partner, so I'm not single.
What? Your number one thing you're looking for a partner is someone that wants to be replicated? That is exactly what Stans would say. I mean, that's a Stans classic, bro. This guy's his long-lost twin. Is that do you mean you want kids? Is he trying to say I want someone that wants kids and he's saying it in a nerdy way? Or does he mean one day you're going to have to be cloned? I'm trying to...
Brag. We got married last year. Brag. You guys met at school. Where at school?
So we've actually known each other since elementary school.
Oh, the school you meant was elementary.
We met on Grindr.
I met a guy off Facebook Marketplace.
Met at the intersection of art and technology.
Do you mean spiritually, or is that an actual place?
It's an actual place.
We met skydiving.
What?
That's so funny. If you guys said I met at the intersection of art and technology, I would think you meant like a fucking startup or something that like sells digital paintings. That's a legitimate physical place. The furries! Furries don't have to worry about it, bro. They've got solidarity. They've got community. The only thing they don't have is fucking money after the cost of those fursuits.
Who are you in a relationship? Or what are you in a relationship with?
I have a boyfriend.
We've heard rumors that dating in San Francisco is ass cheeks.
I'm a gay man, so it's been pretty amazing for me.
Do you think the gays are just dating better than the straights out here?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, in
Are the
SF?
events better?
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Is the sex better?
Yes.
Is the emotional connection better?
Yes.
Bro, when okay, we have in like I was 22 maybe. This is early days of Twitch. We went to the Castro district for some bar after work. Just like we were all everyone partied back then. It was kind of fun. It was a gay bar. And I go in there. I've never been hit on so much in my life. It was awesome. I go to a real bar. I'm waiting for drinks. No one cares. Bro, I was at a gay bar. I felt like the belle of the ball, bro. It was fucking easy. It was a cheat code.
Good God.
Okay, honestly, I know some people that have moved to New York and they have found girlfriends.
So your advice is leave.
Having a hobby that you can connect through is very important.
What
hobby
was
do you
that
think?
hobby that helped you connect with your...
Damn it, Stan Toomey. You took my funny response question. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
partner?
I would say it's actually hiking and drawing.
Hiking and drawing. Nothing else?
Nope, can't think of anything else.
Can't think of anything else.
From an outsider's perspective, folks,
That's great.
this dating scene was looking worse and worse. I came to San Francisco with high hopes of helping out singles, but it seemed to me like the only happy folks I met were either taken, gay, or furry. In fact, anytime I did speak to a discontented single in my investigation, I heard about the same frustrating hurdles they faced, whether it was hardo networking parties,
Any event you go to feels like, and kind of is, a networking event.
how much hotter us New Yorkers were,
I couldn't find anyone in SF. I went to New York and I immediately found a match.
this strange haiku about the overwhelming number of mid-guys.
Okay, I want to say something that I've been thinking about lately. I have a sense it's about to go bad. It's going to sound terrible. To be clear, let me prerequisite this by saying I'm not talking about another 9/11. Okay? I have a sense it's about to go bad for New York. And here's what I'm talking about. It just feels like it's winning on everything right now. Everyone is talking about it, and I hear about a lot of people that don't want to move there. Now, let me finish. I'm not talking about anything bad, like what you're saying. There's something I know. I'm just saying I get, there's this vibe right now of people thinking moving to New York will fix my problems. That is a vibe that I've been seeing, okay? You probably feel, some of you already feel it. Some of you feel it, some of you hear your friends. There's a lot of people talking about how moving to New York will fix my problems. And I'm getting the sense that pretty soon the other shoe's gonna drop on that. And a lot of people are going to move there, and it's going to start affecting New York. All right? You can't really beat the vibes of new Mamdani into Knicks win. Okay? So I want you to know there's a mean reversion on these type of things. And I'm taking the under. You have to remember, Squeaks lives there. You think, oh, Mamdani, it's great. But you get there, he's busy. You're not seeing Mamdani. You're seeing fucking Squeaks. And it's bringing the mood down. It's fucking...
The odds are good, but the goods are odd.
The odds are good, but the goods are odd.
The odds are good, but the goods are odd.
The odds are good, but the goods are odd.
The odds are good, but the goods are odd.
And the apparent
Everyone says
horniness of some magical place called Balboa Cafe.
That is what it's like being a streamer, by the way. That's your chat jokes. Every day of my life, for years and years and years, chat comes in and they fucking giggle as they say a joke that has been said 400. I'm not talking about Glizzy, bro. I'm talking about the big A viewer that comes in. Why can't I watch this on 2x speed like I do normally? It hits! It hits so hard every time!
There's like a few specific bars that people go to and like to joke around are like great spots for dating. Honestly, one of them is called like Balboa Cafe.
All the hot people tend to go there. People joke that it's like Hinge in real life.
You can't meet your husband at Balboa.
We also heard that Balboa Cafe is a spot. Is that
Yes,
we're
it
trying to
is.
get Ratchet there this week.
Oh.
In truth, I was so frustrated that I nearly called it quits and locked myself away in that island jail they put all the other singles after they age out and turn 29. But that's when a bottle rolled up on the
Alcatraz.
seashore containing a QR code that, when scanned, brought me to an article titled How to Find Love in Silicon Valley. Of course, I didn't read it, but instead hit up the author on Zoom and had them summarize.
I think there's this interest in finding the best possible person.
Was
for who
step
you are.
one AI?
Very little in actually sustaining a relationship.
what it said?
I think
AI
when you kind of
matchmaking?
over-index on this, finding this perfect person, you kind of forget about what it actually takes to find love. I think, which is making time for it and opening up your heart, which are the two things in San Francisco that people don't really want to do.
They won't
Rachel
do.
Deck is
Especially
a
really
writer and
smart point.
author of the Didion for Doomscrollers Substack.
I think that what makes it a poor dating culture is the fact that it's really expensive to live here. No one has time. People work for companies all the
I think part of it is that she has a horrible microphone, which is just not allowed in 26. It's just hard to date somebody who can't get good audio.
time, but it's not, I guess, what people seem to think that it is, which is that, I don't know, there's tons of men and no women at all, but only because they're in
You want to
these
talk?
really
My mic is
niche
crisp and
kind
clear.
of subculture spaces
Crisp and
that
clear.
don't really enable
And
or
also I'm
facilitate
married,
women to
so I
be
don't have to
part.
date an SF.
You know, when you're talking about tech bro Twitter, that's a really specific thing, and the things that they're interested in and the parties that they go to and the bars that they go to are really specific, and there just aren't really as many women a part of that as there are in other groups in the city. There are ways that they could be more amenable or more open to women, and I don't know if they always are. I looked into it with the census numbers, and it does seem that there is slightly higher rate of young unmarried men in San Francisco than in other cities. However, I do think that a lot of the time people kind of box themselves into certain subcultures,
It's
and
pretty
certain
small
subcultures are
difference.
friendlier to men than they are to women. I think that there's also a lot of women in the city, but there's kind of a matching problem in terms of getting them to meet
Yeah,
each
it's
other.
probably more a
Matching.
matching problem than a numbers problem.
Maybe that's what I should have been doing this entire time. Indeed, my time in San Francisco offered very little surprises. There was much ado about AI, tech, working long hours, making a ton of money in house parties with too much networking and dudes. Yet all the fuss that there seemed to be about dating proved to me that no matter how much these hardos want to embody the very productivity bots they're creating, the human desire for connection will always be there, a fact of life that expands well beyond San Francisco to somewhere much greater. Like San Jose. So if you're single in
Impossible.
SF, try your hardest to
San
get out
Jose,
there and
we
meet
San Francisco
someone.
on
Straight
steroids.
women, if a guy doesn't work at Anthropic and instead is a public school teacher or whatever, have the courage to give him a shot. Maybe you'll realize his job doesn't matter because his dad works at Anthropic. Gays, keep doing what you're doing. And straight men, I know it may seem like there's too many of you in this city because of those weird parties you're throwing. Might I suggest visiting somewhere in San Francisco with an actual abundance of women who I bet are single and ready to mingle. The 85 plus age bracket. That's right, boys, going older is the way to go. And I got a fleet of widowed, toothless honeycombs just waiting to be amazed by your computer skills. Tired of Hinge? Pick up a cane. Get out of that run club and go learn Mahjong. And instead of Balboa Cafe, head on over to Sagebrook Senior Living at
There you go.
2750 Geary Boulevard.
There you
It has
go.
fewer espresso martinis, but a lot more sex, which sounds like true love to me. And for good work, I'm Dan Toomey.
Well said, Dan Toomey.
So my update is that I am pulling down the application forms because I have a boyfriend now.
What?
Yeah!
Come on! That's so exciting! How did, okay, wait. Dish. How did it come together? We can get into inches and size later.
No.
So what?
He did not apply through the website. We actually did meet on a dating app.
Didn't apply to the website. That's such a funny into it. He spent all that money on the fucking
The amount that I
billboard.
spent on the billboard
didn't work.
was $989.73. Nobody's perfect. Like, I mean, I'm not perfect. I wasn't looking for a perfect man on all of this. I was just looking for the perfect man for me.
All right, well, that was a fun video for sure. Good shit, good work. Always love watching their stuff. And if you have a great video to watch for Get Smarter Saturdays, you can drop it in chat right meow. Because it'll show up right here on the GS website and we'll watch it together and we'll all get smarter, which we just did on that one. Let's see. What could we watch? What could we watch? Mario Kart is just poker. The longest year in human history. Marketing a game to success. Fox News, how to whitewash an atrocity. I think we're going to do a Fox News episode of Lemonade Stand next week, where the constraint is we can only use Fox News as a source. So we're trying to find about what's actually happening, but we had to use the Fox News website. And it's like, dude, I was on there. It's like the number 3 story is beach Karens are ruining beaches. It's like crazy. They barely cover the Iran war. It's not even on there. It's going to be crazy. It'll be a fun video, I think. America's forgotten presidential assassination 5 days ago. Pretty good, but it's a little long. Not so sure with the length. How many cows? Did Archimedes write a problem that took 2,200 years to solve, and it's about how many cows? That sounds kind of interesting. It's only 12 minutes long. Fuck it. He would pick the cow one. He would pick the cow one, dude. Yes. Yes, dude. Yes, I'm the funniest chatter of all time. All right, let's see what we got here.
About counting the number of cattle in a herd. It took 2,200 years to solve, and the number of cattle in the final answer is so big that if you take all of the atoms in the known universe and turn each of them into their own universes, then there would be more cows than all of the atoms in all of these universes combined.
Wait, that's insane.
So what was this problem?
That's so many
and
cows.
Why did it take so long to solve? The problem was sent to Eratosthenes as a poem about the number of cattle owned by the sun god Helios.
Okay.
Eratosthenes was the chief librarian at the Library of Alexandria and the second best mathematician of his
That's
day.
like the GOAT job.
The problem has 4 parts that
It's crazy how far ahead the Library of Alexandria was of everywhere else in the world for having scholarship, especially because most people couldn't read back then. So if you could read, it was already a small percentage. And then to have anything to read was hard. And then it had all of the knowledge. It was the grok of its day. Horrible fire prevention. You know, it's a little known fact that while the fire at the Library of Alexandria did take out a lot of the scrolls, what took out the rest was lack of care. It was mold and rot and they just stopped investing in it. They stopped caring. Like after that, it was like a dark age, and they thought it was too expensive because they'd have to ever so often you have to retranscribe the scroll as the other thing got dusty or decayed, and they just stopped doing it because it was expensive.
get more and more complicated, and the overall setup is more important than this.
It's kind of like how today we've stopped giving a shit about reading and it's slowly decaying. Billionaires fire the transcribers. Maybe they should want to pay for it.
Specific numbers.
Or maybe it was like a gigantic wave of wokeness came in and it burnt all the fucking scrolls to ash.
It starts like this. If thou art diligent and wise, O stranger, compute the number of cattle of the sun, who once upon a time grazed on the fields of the Thrinacian Isle of Sicily, divided into 4 herds of different colors, one milk white, another a glossy black, a third yellow, and the last dappled. In each herd were bulls, mighty in number according to these proportions. Understand, stranger, that the white bulls were equal to a half and a third of the black, together with the whole of the yellow, while the black were equal to the 4th part of the dappled and a 5th, together with once more the whole of the yellow. Observe further that the remaining bulls, the dappled, were equal to a 6th part of the white and a 7th, together with all of the yellow. So far, this isn't so bad. Using a calculator and the modern tools of linear algebra, we can solve this in seconds. But even the ancient Greeks would have had ways to do this. There was an elaborate geometric method that was probably in use.
Dude. Guy who first invented fractions, just putting them in everything. Archimedes comes up with fractions. Is fucking I think that's about a 4 out of 9. Oh, it's fractions. You haven't heard of those? Let me
at the time, and a couple centuries later, the mathematician Diophantus recorded a method that looks a lot like a precursor to algebra. It only had a symbol for one unknown value, but we could start by assigning the unknown to the white bulls and assuming an arbitrary number for another. Like, let's pretend there's just one yellow bull. Then we can use a series of substitutions to figure out the relative sizes of the other groups. In the end, you get these numbers. But of course, you can't have a fraction of a bull. So we need to multiply everything by a least common denominator to get this. We haven't counted the female cows yet, but at the moment, we're looking at about 6,300 bulls. The poem continues.
What is the point?
These were the proportions of the cows. The white were precisely equal to the 3rd part and a 4th of the whole herd of the black, while the black were equal to the 4th part once more of the dappled, and with it a 5th part, when all, including the bulls, went to pasture together. Now, the dappled in 4 parts were equal in number to a 5th part
What was
and a
his
6th
goal
of
in
the
this
yellow
letter?
herd. Finally, the yellow were in number equal to a 6th part and a 7th of the white herd. Okay, this is kind of more of the same for counting the female cows. Once more, we can assign the unknown to one type of cow and substitute our way through to a solution.
Okay.
Then we multiply up the size of the entire herd to get rid of our fractions. So the total comes out to 50,389,082
A lot of cows. I got it.
If thou canst accurately tell, O stranger, the number of cattle of the sun, giving separately the number of well-fed bulls, and again, the number of females according to each color, thou wouldst...
Was this guy just grinning while he wrote it as he keeps adding stupid shit to make more cows? I mean, you're just talking about how many cows the sun god have, so it doesn't have any practical purpose. You're just like,
not be called unskilled or ignorant of numbers.
This is like some
but
Redditor
not yet
shit.
Shalt thou be numbered amongst the wise. Let's talk about who wrote this and why they thought they could challenge the great Eratosthenes. The poem was rediscovered in a German library in 1773. The inscription credits Archimedes, the greatest mathematician of his time and one of the greatest who ever lived. Archimedes often wrote to Eratosthenes because not only was Eratosthenes one of the only people who could understand Archimedes' math, but Archimedes would have wanted the Library of Alexandria to preserve his work for future generations. Most historians agree that this problem probably really does come from Archimedes, though some have suggested that the first part that we've read so far could have actually been written by Eratosthenes himself, and then this next part would have been Archimedes' reply. But come, understand also all these conditions regarding the cattle of the sun. When the white bulls mingled their number with the black, they stood firm, equal in depth and breadth, and the plains of Thrinacia, stretching far in all ways, were filled with their multitude. It's saying that the number of white bulls and black bulls added together has to be a perfect square. One way that we can think about big numbers that are perfect squares is to look at their factors. In order for a number to be a perfect square, all of its prime factors have to be squared as well. So if we take our herd of 7 million black bulls and 10 million white bulls, and we want to figure out what we need to multiply it by so that it's a perfect square, we can look at all the factors, like so, and see what's missing.
God.
We can figure out this part of the problem if we just multiply the current size of our herd by the product of these numbers. So that's going to bring the total up to 224 trillion, 571 billion, 490 million, 814,000.
That's too many damn cows. I'm no mathematician.
Cattle. And we're not even done. Again, when the yellow and the dappled bulls were gathered into one herd, they stood in such a manner that their number, beginning from 1, grew slowly greater till it completed a triangular figure, there being no bulls of other colors in their midst, nor none of them
did
lacking.
Archimedes actually solve this, or is he just writing shit? Do you know what I'm saying? He's just making up rules, and he's like, oh, you figure it out. You know, that makes it...
If thou art able, O stranger, to find out all these things and gather them together in your mind, giving all the relations, thou shalt depart crowned with glory, and knowing that thou hast been adjudged perfect in this species of wisdom. The yellow bulls and the dappled bulls have to form a triangular number. Here's where it goes from complicated to potentially unsolvable. You'll have a triangular number of bulls if you can set them up where the first row has 1 bull, the next row has 2, then 3, then 4, and so on. One way to calculate triangular numbers is to recognize that I can pair off my rows. When I rearrange things this way, I get a rectangle where the length is equal to the original number of rows plus 1, and the width is equal to half the number of rows. Multiplying length by width gives me the total number of cows, and we can simplify that a bit to get this. The key to making our number of yellow and dappled bulls into a triangular number is going to be to find a value that fits everything we did before.
Least complicated decision to add an item in Path of Exile. This is how you pick your fucking ring or your great helm.
And gives us a whole number solution to this equation. Since this is a quadratic equation, we can solve it using the quadratic formula. We know that we'll get a whole number answer whenever this part under the square root sign, what's known as the discriminant, is a perfect square. So now our job is to find a multiple that lets us scale up the number of dappled and yellow bulls so that this equation works. Since we don't want to mess up our perfect square from the last part, this new multiple also needs to be a perfect square. This gives us an example of what's known in number theory as a Pell equation.
Oh,
By the time
I was
the
just about to say
cattle
that.
problem was written,
That's classic
Greek
Pell.
and Indian mathematicians had been studying this type of equation for a couple hundred years already, and they'd used it to do things like approximate the square root of 2. Since the equation x squared minus 2y squared equals 1 can be rearranged like this, any whole number solutions for x and y give us a fraction that's really close to the square root of 2 when we estimate by ignoring that 1 in the numerator. The bigger the pair of numbers we find, the better the approximation.
Beast.
Meanwhile, Archimedes himself found an impressively accurate estimate for the square root of 3. While nobody knows for sure how he found it, it seems likely that he used a similar strategy. It goes without saying that the Pell equation for this cattle problem is significantly more complicated. While some think that Archimedes could have understood the setup and maybe recognized that this cattle problem did have an actual whole number solution, it would have been impossible for him to have found the full value.
Yeah, there's no way.
In fact, it would be thousands of years before mathematicians would be able to solve this problem. In the 7th century AD, the Indian mathematician Brahmagupta had found a method for solving certain Pell equations, and a few centuries later, Bhaskara was able to show that this type of equation always has a whole number solution. But even by the time the cattle problem had finally been rediscovered in 18th century Germany, nobody could find an answer for many years. Early in the 19th century, there was a rumor that C.F. Gauss had a method for solving this problem, since it was one of the most famous...
Gauss is a fucking fraud, bro. I hung out with this guy. he would constantly say, "Oh, I've got a solution for that math problem," and then we'd be like, "What is it?" He's like, "I'm busy." He would smirk and go away. He never actually solved shit, bro. No. He took credit for other people's shit. He faked it. No, Gaussian splitting? Dude, Gaussian fucking yapping. That's what we would call it back in the day. We'd call it Gaussian yapping because he'd be at a party and he would fucking yap. And he had nothing real to offer. Real mathematicians like me and other people from the era, we hated Gauss.
Solved math problems of the time, and Gauss was the greatest mathematician of the era. But he never published anything about it, and others think he wouldn't have been that interested in a problem that didn't have a wider application.
Yep.
So it took until 1880 for Carl Ernst August Amthor to work out that the solution starts with the number 776 and is 206,545 digits long. For comparison, the number of atoms in the known universe is a number that's about 80 digits long. If each one of those atoms turned into their own universe, then the total across all of these universes would be a number that's around 160 digits long. About 10 years after Amthor's calculation, a few members of the Hillsborough Mathematical Club of Hillsborough, Illinois, spent 4 years to find the first 31 digits and the last 12 digits. Finally, in 1965, the complete answer was computed in 7 hours and 49 minutes on a super...
They spent 4 years on the first 13 digits and got it wrong?
1965. The complete answer was computed in 7 hours and
Shit,
49
bro.
minutes.
I could have spent 4 years and just made up some numbers. If you're going to get it wrong, I could have told you it's fucking 1, 2, 3, 7, 7, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4. That's fine.
It's on a supercomputer at the University of Waterloo in Canada. Even now that the complete solution's been found, mathematicians have still worked on this problem in the hopes of finding simpler algorithms that computers could use to speed up these kinds of computations. So why would Archimedes have sent this problem to Eratosthenes anyway? Was it some kind of prank? If it was, it wouldn't have been out of character for Archimedes. Based on his writings, it does seem like he enjoyed needling his fellow mathematicians who weren't quite at his level. He was known to send out deliberately incorrect discoveries to see if anybody would take the bait and try to prove that something wrong was right.
What a loser.
But this cattle problem was more than just a prank.
What
It
a
gives us a
loser,
sense
bro.
of Archimedes' love
There's like
for huge
4
numbers.
people in the world that can understand what you're talking about this time, and you're fucking rage baiting them. That's so troll.
Something that he also wrote about in The Sand Reckoner, where he tried to calculate the number of grains of sand in the universe. In the process, he invented a system for describing very large numbers and discovered the basic laws of exponents. There's another theory that says that this problem was actually the final blow in a mathematical duel between Archimedes and the much younger Apollonius of Perga, who had published several works attempting to one-up Archimedes' accomplishments. But if it is true that Archimedes had a sense of how to construct a solution to this cattle problem, even without knowing the final answer, then it would be yet another sign that a significant amount of the math that Archimedes worked out during his life has been completely lost to history.
Bro had no solution. No. He just wrote that shit down. He didn't have a solution, bro. And it's over. They didn't even tell me the number. I wanted to hear the exact number. I wanted you to do all the digits. I wanted you to go through all the hundreds of thousands of digits, bro. I wanted to know. We learned that Archimedes is a prick. I guess that's the takeaway. All right, interesting in some way. Let's check the GSS Saturday website. How to make money by ordinary things. Cash. Why is it 44 minutes long? Palantir. UK McDonald's hired slaves. That's crazy. The original Caesar salad from Mexico. Why is this 16 minutes? Clash Royale is a disgrace to mobile gaming. Bro, I'm not kidding. That is like saying Hitler is a disgrace to Nazis. They're horrible. They're both horrible, bro. It's you're on the wrong side of history. You shouldn't mobile game. The crime Washington tried to cover up. Liar. Is it the cherry tree? If this is the cherry tree story, that would be fire. That would be a fire video. Jason Schreier, my goat. I helped him get monetized. No big deal. Spoke to YouTube. This is now making money for Jason Schreier. The Yard, but it's just bullying Atrioc. This is a different Atrioc bullying video from The Yard than the other one. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a cottage industry. Why this stupid cat is the best Pokemon ever. Dude, Wolfie's just got a YouTube machine, bro. I met one of his scriptwriters. It's crazy. He's just got a machine. Why adults spend billions on Pokemon cards. For money, bro. I mean, I actually do want to watch this, but I wish it wasn't so long. But I do want to watch it. I'm actually interested in what the fuck's going on with this crazy. I could start it maybe. How Mexico built the World Cup's best stadium. Azteca! But they lost in it, bro. The mystique is over. How a chair exposed the worst YouTubers. Why is new tech so embarrassing? The weird world of indie social media. Animals that sleep worse than you. America has a gas station drug problem, so I tried them. Rhino 69. Wait, didn't we watch this exact video, title and thumbnail, but it was Kratom? But it was the same title? Yeah, the SPR is running out of oil. We've talked about that. The book Price Crisis Exposed. LaMelo Ball plays, but they get increasingly smoother. I'm pretty sure recycling isn't real. It's a good thumbnail. 4.5 million views 2 months ago. Looks kind of interesting.
Real quick, before we start, you're going to have a number of questions while watching this video, and 9 times out of 10, the answer to that question is either going to be technically or money. So I'm just going to reuse this clip every time that comes up. So let's get into it. But again, remember, it's always technically or money. Hello. I'm wearing a lab coat that I stole from my sister who's a nurse, which explains why it's one size too small. The reason I'm pretending to look scientifically qualified is because a few weeks ago, I set out to make a simple video about the history of reducing, reusing, and recycling. But the more reports I read, videos I watched, and red yarn I purchased, the more I realized this is a deeply complicated issue. But surely the title is clickbait. I mean, recycling obviously exists, right? Technically? But the reason it's such a mess is due to the very material that popularized recycling in the first place. Plastic. Plastic is so interesting for all the wrong reasons. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that plastic waste is a problem, but the way we got here and
Dude, the YouTube video essay game is the meta is so advanced now. Everyone has found new different ways to put green screens on things, and it's crazy, bro. Thank God I can make a damn living off of my PowerPoints. Because you need like a fucking cinematography degree to fucking talk about what's going on in the world now.
The reason you view it the way you do is the direct result of decades of misleading claims, unrealistic promises, and propaganda from big plastic. That's a real thing. I'm telling you right now, this one's gonna be a bummer. I've never liked chemistry because it's the one science you can't see, and because I have the reasoning ability of a 12-year-old boy, if I can't see a thing, I tend to believe it's not real. We all know that plastic is made from oil, yet none of us know how. Prior to writing this, I couldn't even imagine how that works. As far as I can understand, when you extract oil from the ground and you refine it, the product that you're looking for is called methane. It's the primary gas that your stoves use. We burn it for like energy and stuff. It's really valuable. But one thing you get when trying to get methane is its less popular brother, ethane. And this is a byproduct of the process. Ethane is gonna be there whether you like it or not. And for a while, that's just the way that ethane was seen. It's just one of the things that you get when you're digging up oil.
Dude,
but in the late
you hate
1800s
when you're at the function and methane shows up and you just know ethane's about to be there really soon and ruin the vibe. It's fucking tragic. Because methane is like they don't even hog the spotlight. They're just chill. But ethane is just, they just can't like read the room and keep the vibe.
it was discovered that you could use it to make this weird
Methane always enters the party with me because I be farting. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad to know that.
substance. It was this white, waxy material discovered by German chemist Hans von Pechmann. His colleagues named it polymethylene, also known as polyethylene, also known as plastic. Now, this discovery was an accident, and at the time, there wasn't really much you could do with it commercially. But in 1933, British company Imperial Chemical Industries, great name, accidentally discovered a way to synthesize this industrially. And the result was a material unlike the world had ever seen. Polyethylene was everything you wanted it to be. It was strong, it was lightweight, it was flexible, it was heat resistant, and most importantly, it was cheap. It might not seem impressive today, but at the time, plastic was viewed like the material of the gods. It could be clear like glass, but it didn't break when you dropped it. It was lighter than metal, less flammable than wood, sturdier than paper. You could color it, make it look like any material you wanted. It was easier to clean, it was easier to transport. It was cheap, it was durable, and thanks to injection molding, it was easy to mass produce on a large scale. This material could be used for everything. And due to metal shortage in World War II, the manufacturing of plastic became really big in the 40s. And since it was already in high production, when the war ended, there was an explosion of new plastic products to choose from.
Plastics take their rightful place in a world at peace. The future will bring plastic fabrics, wondrously fine, yet resistant to wear, wrinkles, and stains.
Saran wrap, squeeze bottles, Tupperware, shoes, dolls, garbage bag, plates, bras. People loved plastic, but manufacturers loved it even more. Why? Money. Remember, plastic comes from ethane, and ethane is really cheap. In fact, there's too much of it. Because if you're a fossil fuel company, you want methane. But if you're getting methane, you're also getting ethane. But it's not just that you don't want ethane. Nowadays, you literally have to find a way to get rid of it. You can't really mix it with the methane. You can't just release it out into the atmosphere. There's only so much of it you can legally burn. And if you don't find a way to get rid of this stuff, it becomes a big problem.
So it's very cheap.
A lot of governments, including the US government, control how much you can flare. So it might be that you are producing so much ethane that you cannot flare it and you cannot send it down the pipeline. And if you can't sell it, you have to shut down the well. They hate shutting down the well.
No, we don't want to do that.
If there's still methane down there, if there's still oil down there, that's money in the ground. So it doesn't matter if you're making money on the ethane. You just need someone to take it away from you.
And plastic just makes sense. So from the 50s onwards, pretty much anything you could dream of was being made of the wonder material. The possibilities were endless. And the best part is that it would last forever because plastics basically last forever. That will come up again later. I'm not here to say that all plastic is bad at all times. I'm coming to appreciate that plastic does have a place in society. For example, before the invention of single-use plastic-filled diapers, children used to wear cloth diapers that were meant to be washed and reused. Okay, we don't have to go back to that one. The problem is how much plastic is made. So what were we gonna do with all this trash? I would love to answer that question, but I do have to do a commercial for a brand real quick. Why would he just interrupt the video like that? Money. Wow, look at this totally normal meal for a college student. I can't wait to eat this and then go about my day. That was me about 8 months ago. I noticed that anytime I ate a salty meal, I would get these crazy chest pains. My heart would start beating really fast. And I was totally panicked because I didn't know why it was happening. I thought I was dying. I could feel my heart pounding in my ears. And I kept putting off seeing somebody about it because I was scared to go to the doctor. But it got to a point where it was almost every meal, so I knew I couldn't deny it anymore. I had to go see a doctor as soon as possible.
HelloFresh?
And that's why I used ZocDoc. Today's video is
It's ZocDoc? Oh my
Plastic
goodness.
is bad for the environment at almost every stage of its lifetime. From the fossil fuel extraction needed to make the plastic, to the greenhouse gas emissions that come from when you actually produce the plastic, to the disposal of plastic, a decent portion of which is just burned afterwards, which also contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. And probably the most annoying part of plastics, especially in the 60s and 70s, is that people would just throw them anywhere. It was in parks, roads, farmlands, lakes, rivers. Plastic also ends up in our oceans, which is bad because, as we all know, fish are dumb and will confuse small pieces of plastic floating around as prey, and then they'll eat it. And then we'll eat it when we eat the
Well,
fish.
then we're
Did you know
dumb.
that the average American eats about a credit card's worth of plastic every year? That's why I don't order seafood. It eats through my wallet. I'm doing great today. But the planet is a big place. I don't get why we can't just find somewhere to put it.
We have this one planet. We only have so many places that we could put our waste.
I can think of 3 different places we can put our trash right now.
You can't put it in the ocean. Look what happened.
Sure, obviously.
You can't put it on top of a mountain.
We can't.
They've even tried to put it into a volcano.
I didn't even think of that. We can't.
We have to come up with a better plan.
So we had way too much plastic trash. What?
Listen, there are thousands of Aiden Ross chatters. They must all have places they live. We just put it there. It can't we've definitely not ran out of places to put plastic. There's just no way. There's just no fucking way.
Could we do to fix the problem? Well, we could have cut down on plastic production, which would have solved the problem at the source. No, we're never going to do that. How about we come up with a slogan instead? If you grew up in America after the 80s, you probably grew up learning about the 3 R's. Especially in the 90s and the 2000s.
Yup.
Messaging about the benefits of reducing, reusing, and recycling was everywhere.
It's Yup. worth
it. It is worth it. It was on posters, commercials, children's television. They made jingles about it. They talked about it in science class. Did you know that Schoolhouse Rock forced Mitchell Musso to make a De La Soul parody song about it? Obviously, I can't play the whole thing here because Disney will have my head on a pike, but I will play a snippet shortly. However, before I do, I would like to read the lyrics to the first verse because it's written like a conspiracy theorist that's trying to make a connection that simply isn't there. 3. It's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number. Because 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 6 is 18. And the 18th letter in the alphabet is R. We got 3 R's we're gonna talk about today. Go listen to this song immediately after this video. I assure you, it sounds worse when you
Like
sing it.
Archimedes' ass letter, bro.
This song had to have been written
That's
in 45
a
seconds.
heathen.
Recycling ads made it seem like you were fighting for world peace every time you threw a bottle away. I'm being responsible. I'm basically a hero. We treat recycling as if everyone who does it is single-handedly preventing a plastic straw from ending up in a sea turtle's nose. You did it, man! We won! But that slogan is written the way it is for a reason. It's written in order of importance. If you want to help the environment, by far the single best thing you can do is reduce the amount of trash you make. If you don't want the planet to be filled
That's
with
not
waste,
really as fun
don't
as
make the waste in the first place. Beyond that, the next best thing you can do is to
recycle.
reuse the waste that you create. And I'm not talking about that 5-minute crash reuse. I turn these bottle caps into jewelry. I'm not doing that. I'm a grown man. I don't just own a glue gun. It's kind of crazy how underrated reusing things is. We'll talk about this more later, but Americans have been taught to believe that reusing things is for poor people. Historically, though, every culture and every people have always reused everything they can.
So, in thinking about ancient Greek sculptors, their favorite material to use was bronze. And the reason that we only have a few of these left, they got melted down to make implements of war. Egyptian kings would wait for previous monuments to maybe fall into a little bit of disrepair, and they would knock them down, and they would use those pieces to build their own monuments. Sometimes the Romans would take their sculptures and they would recarve them
That's so
into the
fucked
sculpture.
because it's like so short-sighted, bro. You gotta know they're gonna do it to you. If you're knocking down the last guy's monument to build a monument to yourself, thinking I'm truly the greatest pharaoh, you gotta know the next pharaoh's fucking. That's some Ozymandias shit.
Of later emperors.
If you grew up in a melanated household, then you know that just because a container that used to hold food is now empty, it does not mean its life is over. I'll be the first to admit this. I used to be embarrassed when we'd have people over and I'd have to explain to them that we used the empty Greek yogurt containers from Costco as cups. Well, I wasn't embarrassed at first. It wasn't until somebody who wasn't in my family came to my home, saw what was happening, explained to me that their family doesn't do this, that it immediately clicked, yeah, of course nobody else does this. This looks weird. But looking back, objectively, it shouldn't be viewed as weird because we use that container container 50 times longer than it was intended to be used. We saved them from going into a landfill prematurely. That is, of course, until I put it in the microwave and it became immediately unusable because, of course, it was. It was a Greek yogurt plastic container. It can't handle that heat. But sometimes, despite your best efforts, you end up with plastic that you just don't know what else to do with. Then, and only then, is when the last R comes in. Recycling. The idea that some company or organization could take your trash and turn it into anything your heart desires. It's the most magical of the 3 R's. Magical in the sense that it's not real. That isn't to say recycling doesn't work for anything. There are actually a number of materials that recycle rather well. Aluminum, for example, is considered infinitely recyclable, meaning you can recycle it over and over and over again and it won't break down in quality. In fact, of all aluminum that has ever been produced, 75% of it is still in circulation today. Now, you compare that to plastic that actually breaks down every time you recycle it. And of all the plastic that's ever been produced, 70% of it has been discarded. In fact, generous estimates say that only 10% of all plastic has ever been recycled once, and only 1% ever gets recycled twice. I think the main thing that makes recycling super difficult is that it doesn't arrive at the facility in perfect condition, organized by color
it's all
and material.
fucked up.
It comes in one gray blob, and there is almost surely animal and or human feces in the mix. And even the stuff that isn't fecal matter, a good portion of those materials shouldn't be in that pile. Recycling rules get so confusing because, first of all, you need to know what type of plastic it is because not all plastics can even be recycled. Second, did you know you have to clean the plastic before you put it in the bin? Some packaging materials, even if it has the recycling symbol on the front, some recycling plants can't accept it. And I would love to sit here and tell you all the ins and outs of what can and can't be recycled. I really wanted to make it work. I come up with a bit where I was gonna get a scroll and be like, hear ye, hear ye. I can't do that because recycling rules change everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's a new set of instructions. The ones in my area are different from the ones in your area and the next guy's area and the next guy after that. And despite all that effort, most plastics just end up in a landfill or being burned in an incinerator. So how did we come up with such an ineffective system? Well, to understand that, you're gonna have to...
They were more strict about it in Germany. I remember that growing up. Like, they had these different color-coded giant bins, and you have to... There was like a process on how you put it in there. You had to take the thing off the bottle, and you had to like put it all in there, and they would you could get in trouble if you didn't do it right. I think it all still ends up in a landfill though. But they were strict about it. I do remember.
So you're pretending you're this businessman from the 50s and you work in the plastic industry and your entire job is just to make money. You know, one of the reasons life sucks now is because you can't own anything anymore because everything is a subscription. Sure, I could make some money selling you something once. But I could make more money if I sold it to you once a month for the rest of your life. But how am I gonna get you to buy more plastic? I just spent all this money advertising how durable it is and how it basically lasts forever. People know you don't need any more plastic. What am I supposed to... What if I just told you the opposite? Imagine you're in a room with the most boring old white men that you can think of, and then the main old white guy is in the center, and he's like, okay guys, if we want to make money, we have to convince the public to throw away the plastic. And everybody was like, what's this guy talking about? And the main guy is still up front. He's all like, you guys, listen, glass and metal are expensive and heavy and breakable, but plastic is made of oil, so obviously it costs basically nothing. And then one guy raises his hand and he's like, wait, I thought oil was basically like black gold and every country on earth is fighting for it literally all the time. And the main guy's like, shut up, it's not important. Nobody knows how both those things are true. This is just the way the world works. It's light, it's cheap, and we have more than enough to sell. If we can just convince them to throw away the plastic stuff they already have, I promise you we will all make so much money. And remember, that's your job. That scenario wasn't really an exaggeration. At a 1956 annual conference for the plastics industry, Lloyd Stouffer, an editor of a trade magazine, literally told plastic executives their future is in the trash can. But there was a problem. This was the 50s. These people lived through the Great Depression, where they used dresser drawers as baby cribs, and they made the most insane recipes with any food they could find. You know that one guy on TikTok from 3 years ago who used to make all those recipes from the 30s? That was depression food, not the feeling, the time period. Although you may confuse it to be the same thing.
Corn
because
cookies?
they couldn't afford fruit, so when they made apple pies, it wasn't with apples, it was with crackers and water. This era of Americans was not used to the idea that you buy something, use it one time, and immediately get another one. That would be like if I invited you over for dinner and we were eating off glass plates, and at the end of the night you asked me if I want you to put your plate in the sink, and I just told you, nah, just throw it away. What are you talking about? And again, you were just telling the public how plastic is
That's what I do. All my plates are solid
so
gold, and I throw them out after each meal. Okay? It's going to be... I wonder what kind of recipes we're going to come up with in the next American Great Depression. You know? We have like a lot of new foods we can use.
to get rid of it. So the plastic industry had to make new ads that were basically like,
okay, forget everything we just said about plastic, okay? It's not that great. It's cheap, and we have an endless supply of it. So after you use it, just throw it out, okay? If you eat off of it, if you drink out of it, if you look at it too hard, just throw it out. It's fine.
but isn't that kind of wasteful?
Come on, man. All the cool kids are doing it.
For decades, Americans had a make it do or do without mentality. Our new throwaway culture fell in love with single-use plastics and didn't worry about the consequences.
Being disposable, there are no empties to collect. Vinyl and asbestos on the floor.
In fresh sun, sea, and sky colors.
So people started throwing stuff away. Everywhere. It was too much stuff. Littering was now becoming a bigger problem following the rise of single-use plastics, which combined with other environmental concerns led to one of the biggest environmental movements in modern history.
This is a CBS News special. Earth Day.
A day set
Earth
aside
Day!
for a nationwide outpouring of mankind seeking its own survival.
April 22nd, 1970 was the world's first Earth Day. A time for people in some of the most confusing pieces of attire and hairstyles that the human race had ever seen up to that point in their history gathered together to discuss issues hurting the environment. And of the many issues, one of the issues on the docket was plastic waste. In fact, you start to hear talk that maybe plastic should be banned altogether. But again, you're a businessman in the plastics industry. If your product gets banned, you can't make any more money.
You can't ban plastic.
You're blowing this. But you, as a businessman, maybe you take a second to realize maybe enough's enough. Your decisions have negatively impacted the planet. You've made more money than you can ever hope to
they're not
spend
going to
in
do
your
that.
lifetime. Maybe
That's
it's
a
time
no.
that the plastics industry goes to rest. You retire. Maybe spend more time with your wife and the kids. Maybe this is a good thing after all. Maybe
What
it's
if they
time to
shift
call
the
it quits
blame
and let
onto the
packaging industry
consumer
go back to its more sustainable practices?
tell them
I'm
they need to
kidding.
recycle?
It's time to plot. And what do we do every time we need the public to change their opinion immediately for our own benefit? Advertising.
Did it cut out? This is the single tier. That's a great one. This is a classic ad, bro. That's an iconic ad.
First off, this man is Italian. Secondly, although this ad may look like it was paid
He's
for by some
Italian?
environmental activist group,
Holy fuck, I didn't know that. That's just an Italian guy this whole time? Wait, I have to confirm that. Was the guy? Iron Eyes Cody. He's just an Italian guy from Louisiana. He played Native Americans his whole life. He just farmed it in like the fucking like 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. That's crazy.
it was actually
Iron
produced
Eyes
by
Cody.
Keep America Beautiful, an organization started by the packaging industry like Coca-Cola and Dixie Cups. You know, the people who made the trash. The point of this ad wasn't to stop litter. It was to make it abundantly clear that this littering thing, that's your fault. But aren't you guys the ones that got an entire generation of Americans to start acting like this in the first place? Don't change the subject. You made that Italian man in an almost surely offensive garb cry. Look at what you did. That's a great first step. But if you really want the people to get off your back about a problem, you have to promise them a solution. Give them something to believe in. And so essentially what happened was the equivalent of, I'm sorry guys, this is getting out of hand. The city's gonna have to ban the plastic. No, wait. Okay, we'll fix it. Jeez.
A growing backlash was threatening the future of plastic.
So it was up to us in the plastics industry to solve this problem so that they could continue to package their products in plastic.
To appease government officials, the industry funded a local recycling pilot project.
The industry attitude was, we'll set this up and get it going, but if the public wants it, they are going to have to pay for it.
So they invested millions into bringing recycling into the mainstream. But could that even work technically? The process of turning used plastic into new plastic is physically possible. The issue is when you have to do it with millions of pounds of plastic. Could this?
Yeah, especially dirty plastic. I've actually looked into this. I haven't seen this video, but I have a small investment in a plastic recycling company because I thought it was interesting. And I researched it for this, and it's like he said earlier in the video, the biggest challenge is that there's no way to get what you call clean feedstock. They can recycle it relatively well if you have like pure plastic, everything stripped off of it. But the way it's delivered is just it's covered in other shit. Nobody has actually packaged it well.
system
It's not
work
waste management,
at
no.
scale? Technically, no. The answer to that one's just no. According to NPR and a paper from the Center for Climate Integrity, internal plastic industry documents from the late 60s and early 70s gave a sterling recommendation of the recycling process. Using face-strengthening words such as costly, we have serious doubt that it can ever be made viable on an economic basis, and virtually hopeless. The plastics industry knew from the very beginning this was never gonna work, and they did it anyway. Why? Money. Here's the thing. It doesn't actually need to work. It just needs to look like it works. If it'll get the hippies
like
to shut up,
TSA.
sure, we can paint some trash cans blue and put some arrows on it and maybe blow a few mill, building some recycling centers, and we'll run a few ads about it. Is it gonna cost us? Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot cheaper than having our entire industry banned or coming up with a solution that would actually work. If someone can prove me wrong, I would welcome you to do so in the comment section. But as far as I can tell, the entire idea of recycling is basically just theater, and you can see it everywhere. For example, a lot of people think that all plastics are recyclable, but they're not. Some types of plastics, no matter what you do, can never be recycled, but you wouldn't know just by looking at it. That wasn't until, out of the kindness of their hearts, a lobbying and trade group known as the Society of the Plastics Industry, a loving organization with a not at all nefarious sounding name, proposed a solution to identify which plastics can and can't be recycled. Okay, we've heard there's been a little bit of confusion as to what you can put in the bin, so today we're proposing a new symbol that we're gonna put on all the plastic products so everybody knows exactly what can and can't be recycled. Okay, that actually sounds pretty good. No, that's not cool. No! Is there a problem, sir? That looks exactly like the recycling symbol. How dare you? My work is completely original. It's in a triangle shape. I didn't know anybody could own a shape. It has the chasing arrows. My arrows are slimmer. Yeah, but if you squint and look at them both, they pretty much look exactly Yeah, but mine has numbers in it. You notice that, Einstein? You're so good at pointing things out. You notice that? You know they look the same. Why would you make them look exactly the same? Money. This is the resin identification code. It was invented by Society of the Plastics Industry in 1988. On paper, its purpose is to identify what kind of plastic a thing is made out of. Each type getting a different number. As far as I know, there are 7 RIC numbers, and pretty much only 1 and 2 are widely considered recyclable. But if you didn't know that, because why would you just casually know that?
Why would you
just
know
assume
that?
that this means that the thing is recyclable and you put it in the bin and you think recycling is working? The plastics industry lobbied 40 states to get the RIC symbol to look like this.
That's
as long as you
crazy.
think it's working, it doesn't matter if it actually is. That's the whole name of the game. But why though?
that's
What
wild.
specifically about recycling is so impossible to get right? Fun fact, when you look up
I'll be honest, that's the guy that cooked that up is a genius. He's evil. Evil as hell, but that's crazy. That's an insane
Society of the
scam.
Plastics Industry on YouTube, one of the first search results is a promo they just released called Recycling is Real. Is it though? Because there's no way she flew a plane. Do you see my point? Like, you hear what I'm saying? Helen can't do either, and you mean to tell me she was navigating the skies? Random question. Would you say you have a decent idea of how a toilet works? I feel like most people would say yes. Like, it's a toilet, you know, you push a thing, water comes out, seems pretty simple. Okay, cool. Here are all the parts. Build a toilet. I saw somebody say this as a good example of showing that people don't really know how most things work. Even things that seem relatively simple. You put all the pieces in front of them, the average person doesn't understand how a lot of things work. With that being said, do you feel you have a good idea of how recycling works? I'll be honest, I thought you just melted it and then shaped it again, but the process has like 17,000 steps. Because you can't just put all the plastics into one big vat and melt it down. They all have different properties and different melting temperatures. If you did that, you would just end up with a bunch of useless goop. So first you have to create recycling centers and a recycling program for a given area. Then you need to inform the people about what can and cannot go into the recycling bin, which is pretty much a useless step because no matter what you do, people are gonna put anything they want in the bin.
Very surprised what people think is recyclable.
You name it, eventually it'll be found in it.
A pool table.
Big propane tanks.
Needles.
A neck brace.
We've had guns, ammunition, fireworks, sparklers.
I had a live snake.
After you pick it up, you have to do your best to separate the non-recyclables from the rest of the mix, and you have to clean them and treat them and process them. All of that just to get recycled plastic, a material that is less durable and more expensive than virgin plastic. From an economic and practical standpoint, this process makes almost no sense. You can sit there and say, it shouldn't matter, we should do this for the good of the planet. Unless you're gonna do it, or you're gonna fork up the cash to get somebody else to, it's not getting done. As Mamdani said when speaking about just the separation process, unless someone's paying for it, the plastic's going to the landfill. So you may be wondering, surely there was a point in time when recycling kind of worked at least a little bit? Technically, yes. Seeing the monstrous problem before them, the best and brightest American minds of that generation came up with a solution that, at least from an economic standpoint, was viable. Describing it with the gravitas it deserves, it was the equivalent of... You're okay.
That's
We
awesome.
just gave all our trash to China. I'm sorry, how does this work? It's simple. We pick up the recyclables, put them on trucks, bring them to recycling centers. They'll organize them, crush them, turn them into bricks. We'll put those bricks onto different trucks, drive them to the coast, sell them to the Chinese, and then load them onto cargo ships. And once the ships reach China, they'll take the bricks, give them to low-wage workers to organize them and turn them into new stuff. And when it's all said and done, for every dollar we spend on this process, we will earn $1.01, which is more money than when we started. Okay. And that's how recycling worked in America for over 25 years. But it wasn't just the US. According to NPR, 70% of the world's plastic waste was being sent to China. And China was getting a slight profit out of this, but that profit was being outweighed by all the other indirect costs that came with this recycling program. Because we never actually solved the problem of littering and handling the trash properly. We just gave the problem to a different country.
These sorting facilities in China would often illegally dump the portion of the plastics that even they couldn't profitably recover, creating an environmental problem that the government had to pay to clean up.
Martin Borque, I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, executive director of the Ecology Center in Berkeley, California, once put a tracker in a bale of waste sent to China just to see what would happen to it. And when it touched mainland and they got in contact with the locals that were near where the tracker was placed, they found that it was just littered. On top of that, remember how people will recycle anything, including hazardous materials?
Dude, someone in America littering, it getting picked up, put into a thing, put on a truck, sent to a boat, shipped overseas so I could get littered again in China. It's crazy. All the money spent, people paying for the trash just to litter.
Well, it turns out that those materials were causing hazard to the Chinese workers who were sorting them. After a while, the Chinese government must have reasoned to itself, maybe destroying our country's lakes and giving people occasional anthrax poisoning isn't worth $17 of profit. So they banned the import of pretty much all plastic waste in 2018 with no warning. To which the waste management industry calmly responded, "What am I supposed to do with all this?" Once China stopped taking it, we didn't have many options on where to put it. Imagine you were taking your trash out for the week and the garbage man just said no and then drove away. You then have two options: create a pile in the backyard or set it on fire. And that's exactly what we've done for the past 8 years. I really tried to verify this stat, and I could be wrong, but as far as I know, when you recycle something, most of the time, it just ends up in a landfill or in an incinerator. Because there's just no money to do anything else with it. And I would love to sit here and say there is a solution and that they're working on something that's gonna work in the next few years. But as far as I know, right now, at this current moment, this is all recycling is. Almost every solution I read about when researching this video is either going to hurt the environment more or it's gonna cost way too much money. Even when something says it's made of recycled plastics, I'm pretty sure in most cases, it just ends up looking something like this. So you promise that when I put a plastic bottle in the bin, you turn it into another plastic bottle just like new? Absolutely. In fact, I have one right here. That is not the same thing. I'm doing the best I can! Downcycling is when a recycled product isn't as good quality as when it was first made. For example, a food-grade plastic that gets recycled is no longer good enough quality for food packaging, and so it becomes part of like a plastic bench or something. Okay, but I saw a TikTok of a mad scientist fellow who was turning plastic into fuel. Why can't they just do that? Technically, as far as I know, that process is called pyrolysis, and it is possible. Because like plastic is made from oil, so couldn't you do some science stuff to maybe turn it back into oil? I don't get it, but let's
put little logos and everything that says recyclable as fuel, and it's like a smiling face, and it's like pouring it into your car, and then have at least one car be able to do this. Put this on TV and on TikTok, show people using it, and then we'll make a different color bin that you can throw things in. Okay, that sounds awesome. And then now we could all feel good about plastic for at least a few more decades because it's going to be used for fuel.
Is scientifically possible. So why don't they do it? According to the TikTok comment section of that video, it's because the CEO of Exxon will personally 360 no-scope this guy if he ever goes to market. That's not why. Then why not? Money. Again, could you build a toilet? At scale, the process of pyrolysis costs way too much economically and environmentally. As far as doing it for plastics at least, it just doesn't make much sense. Besides that, the process of this and other forms of advanced recycling generates a lot of hazardous waste. According to the NRDC, they once observed that an advanced recycling plant, also known as a chemical recycling plant, created almost 500,000 pounds of hazardous waste in 2019 alone. In addition, these plants...
That's so funny. Taking a bunch of plastic trash, putting it on an assembly line, making it a slightly better plastic trash pile, but then the fucking vent on the side is just pouring out toxic waste. Like, what?
Produce air pollution, which poses a health risk to nearby neighborhoods. Neighborhoods that tend to be made of low-income, non-white people. As a result, these neighborhoods lose even more of their value, and due to the health risks that come with being so close to one of these facilities, it turns these areas into what ProPublica described as sacrifice zone. And on top of that, a lot of these advanced recycling plants just end up burning the plastic. However, none of that will stop the plastics industry from saying they're doing it. Because again, it barely matters that it's not working. As long as people think it could, they're not gonna get mad at us.
Innovation in American plastics means reducing, reusing, and
manufacture.
So you recycle.
Well, yeah, we manufacture recycled plastic. It's how we stay competitive.
And it's better for the environment.
And it's better for business.
How?
It's the way of the future. The U.S. has to keep up.
First off, this ad was made by America's plastic makers, and on their website, they will tell you that they are part of the plastics division of the American Chemistry Council and their member companies, which include Chevron, Dow, Exxon, and Shell. The companies that make the oil that make the plastic. Secondly, he never answered a question. Am I the only one that peeped that?
And it's better for the environment.
And it's better for business.
How?
It's the way of the...
That's good. Sometimes you gotta tip your hat. Sometimes you gotta tip your hat, bro. My God.
I've seen this ad a billion times, and I've noticed that detail every single time. Like, that was a question she was asking, and he just ignored it and talked about the business of it. Am I insane? That's what just happened.
Now you're getting.
Recycling yesterday's plastic because it was made to be more.
It's not, though. It's made to be one thing, one time for 30 seconds, and then spend the next 1,000 years polluting a river in Taiwan. And I think all these ads and messaging and borderline propaganda just serves to confuse people on what's actually happening with their trash.
We're burning it.
The propaganda is working. Laura Liebrook, a manager of a recycling plant in Oregon, explained that when she tries to tell people that recycling doesn't work, they don't want to believe her. Because the truth is, we need recycling. Not because it fixes any problem. It's because it removes this guilt. It's kind of like when you get those ads for children's cancer hospitals and you can't skip it because you have to wait 5 seconds. So before you can, you try not to make eye contact with the sick child in the video. It's kind of like that. We don't want to be confronted with the fact that American consumption is disgusting. We need something to believe in. It's a reason to feel that we're not destroying the planet with our insatiable greed. It doesn't have to actually work. I just need to believe that I'm doing something so I can sleep at night. If I just put the bottle in the blue bin, I don't have to be confronted with the fact that that bottle is going to sit somewhere for the next 700 years. If I don't have to look at it, it's almost as if it doesn't exist anymore. Don't take that from me.
Recycling.
Doesn't Futurama solve this? Where they take all their trash and they send it off into space, and then like 1,000 years later, the space trash ball has gotten so big and it's coming back as a meteor to Earth.
It's one of those things where not only does the public kind of depend on that emotionally to relinquish their, guilt about buying things, but it has been kept alive by the manufacturers.
Ultimately, though, anytime we spend placing the blame solely on the individual is when the propaganda has fully accomplished its work. Yes, American consumption is killing us, but who sold the poison? Corporations are the ones that invested in plastic. Corporations are the ones that convinced Americans to buy more plastic than they could ever need. Corporations are the ones that blamed consumers for a littering problem that they created. Corporations are the ones that pushed and promoted a solution they knew would never work. And corporations are the ones that paint themselves as the heroes and innovators solving a crisis that they created while ultimately not coming up with any scalable solutions, all the while creating more plastic. Lisa Ramsden of Greenpeace USA says the plastics industry intends to triple plastic production by 2050. The takeaway from this discussion isn't that we shouldn't be doing what we can. We should all still be reducing, reusing, and then when all else fails, recycling, because a bad solution is better than no solution. But the real takeaway is this: no matter what any company, ad campaign, children's media, catchy jingle, or industry group tries to tell you, this conversation isn't just solely about how much you love the planet. This whole conversation has always been about money. And although it technically exists, and I'm by no means an expert, I'm pretty sure recycling isn't real.
Plastics take their rightful
Good
place
video.
in a world at peace.
I think he was blaming Zendaya for all of this. And I agree with that. She's behind it. She's behind it. All right. Well, that was a good video. I mean, he blamed the corporations at the end. Obviously, the corporations are the ones doing it, but realistically, it's the government. For, I guess, this is why money in politics is the biggest problem, because the corporations, I guess, are just bribing. Politicians should be the ones in this system who would make a rule limiting their ability to do this and then enforcing it. But they're not doing that, largely because I guess they're getting bought. So it's money in politics, bro. Chat. I've got a question for you. How much sadder are you going to be when I tell you I have to go? Goodbye, chat. Oh, sevens. It is 7 o'clock. I'm going to have dinner with my wife. 07s, very fun hanging out with you. It was a good time. It was a heater. Streams have been pretty fun lately, honestly. Good schedule this week. I'm gone tomorrow, Sunday. Back on Monday. Should do a presentation on Apple suing OpenAI and more Nuzlocke. Appreciate you. Have a good one. And who do we rate? Who's still going? Let's rate, who's playing Pokemon, maybe, in the Pokemon community, you know? We can raid Kaya Coliseum. I think she's one of the coaches. Nuzlocke. She's one of the coaches, right? Yeah, okay. We'll raid Kaya Coliseum. Everyone be really nice. Kaya Coliseum's one of the coaches. She's Tubbo's coach. Just, you know, say how much fun it's been playing the Nuzlocke. All right, but you always eat dinner with your wife, but never with us. I literally have eaten dinner on stream many, many times, so that's not even true. In fact, I need to eat dinner with my wife more. She coached Ray last year. Awesome. Honestly, the event has been so fun. Everyone's been so nice. I'm really looking forward to the rest of it. Bye!